So welcome to another episode of Indisputable Evidence. We back again. I'm your co-host Anthony Beck, along with my other co-host.
Drizzy, no, I'm playing. Jerry Brown, bro. All right, Jay Breezy, we're back in the building, ready to talk some football and basketball.
And I'm PD Wheatstraw.
What the hell we doing here, man?
No, this is Mr. Morale
And the Big Steppers joining me.
and the Big Steppers.
There we go. But nah, in all seriousness, it's your boy Marcus here, man. Back with another episode of Indisputable Evidence. Ready to get into some ball. Ready to talk about my 6-2 Jacksonville Jaguars. Florida Gators basketball's back. The NBA's in full swing. Let's get into it.
Speaking of Gators, women's with another dub tonight.
Yes, sir.
Doom Cookman. Shout out to Doom Cookman and all my HBCUs, but y'all had to get this work tonight. But yeah, you back in full swing.
Now hold up, AB. That y'all had to get this work tonight sounded really anti-black, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that sounded really.
Most of the girls that play for Florida are black too, so I mean
That sounded really PW White.
that's we still respect Bethune Cookman. Shout out to them, and you know what? They actually are getting better. That's a good basketball team still. So
Yeah.
Hey, they got some good players out there. So
AB Ruckus.
shout out to them.
Salute.
Nah, for sure.
You
Anywho.
you know what you did, Marcus.
It was an observation. I had to make it, you know?
This man was wilding out before we even got on the show tonight. What's going on?
Excuse me?
We are shorthanded right now, by the way, Darnell.
Darnell.
Join us. Probably won't be because his job is probably holding him hostage again.
Yep. Always, per usual.
Per usual. I mean, look, man, y'all got to get a man at least one night off.
Grind don't stop. Didn't you hear?
Y'all make sure y'all watch the Atlanta Hawks and Orlando Magic, bro. This game is ridiculous already.
Yeah, watch the Atlanta Hawks. Just for the Hawks. Don't watch them for any other reason. And if you know what I'm talking about, all I'm gonna say is if you know, you know.
First and foremost, that was the most ridiculous promo I've ever seen in my life.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. You don't do that.
Like that promo was absolutely shambolic.
Yeah, it was.
It was so on the nose for the Hawks, though. Because like they've done, because y'all remember that time back in like 2015, that one year they had Tinder night at the game. Like, you know how nasty that is, especially when Tinder's so brand new and all that.
Yeah,
it's like you don't know who you matching with.
Exactly.
Man, all I'm saying is this. Like, this is the same city that has Magic City.
Respect Magic City.
Respect the wings in here. I heard the wings are good.
It's fire.
I respect the wings, but we all know what Magic City is there for. We all know.
Hey man, and there you get nice, very talented dancers, very good cooked food, and you might get to hear the next single that blows up in Atlanta one night in the club.
That is true.
That is very true.
That part is very true. But for the Atlanta Hawks to do what they like, why y'all get the mascot involved, man? Come on, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to do this.
Hey man, it could be worse. It could always be the NBA Brazil accounts. It could always be worse. Nah, come back. You know I'm right.
NBA Brazil is also wild, bro. It's like I don't know what they're trying to promote here, dog. I don't know what they're trying to get at. But whatever they're doing, it's just disturbing the general public.
They're a sick bit. Like, what are we doing? Like, what sense does it make? We have the Timberwolves like eating something like up and down. Like, I don't think that's the message y'all trying to send about the Minnesota Timberwolves, my guys. You know what I'm saying? So let's be serious here for a minute, NBA Brazil. That's the sick, twisted, demented bit you're doing. Please run it in. Whoever's running those accounts.
Whoever's in charge needs to be given potassium chloride.
They need to be punched, and then watch their loved ones be punched. And they get punched by their loved ones.
My God.
Injection. But yeah, we're gonna get into some NFL first, bro. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Yeah, we unfortunately have bleeding eyes right now and watching the Panthers and the Bears.
I didn't even attempt that. I did not even attempt to watch Panthers and Bears play football. Not on my Thursday night.
The only reason why I'm watching is because DJ Moore is on one of my rosters.
You're a sick bastard if you're actually watching that game for fantasy purposes.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy.
Look,
You need help.
that's all I need.
I'm praying for you, bro.
I know gambling's legal in Florida. I understand, but don't put yourself through that. Just call the hotline at that point, man. Ain't worth it.
Don't worry, I got my great flavored Gatorade to get me through it.
Well, blessings, big blessings.
And by
I
the
don't
way,
even think that's quenching your thirst to watch football, bro.
speaking of which, if y'all are Gatorade drinkers, I'm pretty sure both of y'all, it's what you do. Put it in the freezer for about 2 hours. Like, it's already cold. Put it in there for about 2 hours.
Mm.
If you've done that yet.
I've put it in the freezer. I don't know about.
It's life changing.
I'm about to try
I
it.
do it to all my drinks anyway.
Because it'll come out one of two ways. Either in slush form or really, really cold, where like you start drinking it, it gets better as you drink it.
I mean, I do that to all my drinks regardless, so I think I'll give Gatorade a shot with it.
I ain't doing that with Sprite. And we got a special guest joining us tonight. We got Mike Zimmerman here.
Oh my God, Mike.
Yes.
Come on.
What's
Yes.
up? What's up?
On.
Sopranos, you ain't know you was a Sopranos fan?
Oh yeah, baby. Of course, I gotta rep my guy Tony Soprano. You know, we the family's been eating good right now thanks to Rutgers, so we gotta represent.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
that's
Yes,
what's
sir.
up. But speaking of Sopranos, have y'all faded with the Uncle Ben's rice in the cabinet?
Wait, Marcus, say that again.
Have you fainted looking at Uncle Ben's rice in the cabinet? Speaking of the Sopranos.
I mean, listen, once or twice, sometimes it sneaks up on you. I don't know, man.
That's crazy. Oh man.
Now, the first question I gotta ask you, because I know you do work with the New York Jets.
Right? Yeah. So,
Yeah. First of all, we're praying for you because
Yeah, man.
listen, I kind of had a feeling this would happen with Hackett. I mean, we signed up for the crazy tour as soon as Aaron Rodgers was traded here, but I can tell you right now that ayahuasca is looking pretty tempting every game.
Ayahuasca. Hey man, Aaron Rodgers be going to ayahuasca, and it's so good he think he can come back and play football after tearing his Achilles.
Oh my God.
I don't know why, especially behind that O-line. Do you really want to put a 40-year-old man back there, fresh off Achilles surgery? No.
I kept telling everybody trade for Kirk Cousins instead. I mean, I again, the same thing happened, but you know.
Hey man, the Forrest Gump in quarterback form, aka Josh Dobbs, was free, available for a trade. Cause one that.
Bro, Josh Dobbs is getting thrown around everywhere. It's wild.
That is crazy, though. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, first off, props up Josh Dobbs being able to handle that with less than a week to learn the playbook. That's insane, but also
Yeah.
speaks to Jordan Addison and the talent they have over there in Minnesota.
Yeah. for
But
sure.
I mean, listen, I be honest, I'm disappointed at the trade deadline. I wanted Devontae Adams. The rumor was that Joe Douglas was trying to get it, but then they decided to just completely upturn ship over there in Las Vegas, and yeah, now everybody's losers.
Yeah. Essentially.
You like that. But hey man, one thing I gotta say about the Jets, I would like to give a close, personal thank you to Mr. Frank Gore. He changed my life that day in
Marcus, why you
2021,
gotta
man.
do me like that, man?
He changed my life.
Grandpa Frank, listen, Grandpa Frank, I welcomed you with open arms. You gave me a gift when you helped the 49ers beat the Saints in the wild card game in 2011. But listen, in all seriousness, though, Trevor's excelling with Doug Peterson. I couldn't be happier. You guys got a squad over there in Jacksonville. And I wish my boy Christian Braswell would be getting a little bit more on the highlight reel. But, hey, man, I'm just glad the defense is starting to catch up.
Hey man, I am stunned this defense is this good, quite frankly. I thought it'd be okay because all offseason they preached, continuity. Everybody's back in the system. It's a lot of young players, a lot of guys who we saw. We had a big free agency binge, so they're gonna come back for another year in the system. And it's all clicking. I mean, Josh Allen has been a monster.
Yeah.
Trayvon Walker, say what you want about him. The sacks aren't quite there, but He's a dog and run defense.
Oh my
Carson
god,
Campbell's been great. Darius Williams has been a dog hometown hero. Shout out to him. Andre Cisco's been playing at Pro Bowl level. Devin
Yeah,
Lloyd
Andre
man
Cisco's a
jump.
freak, man. He's so good. I was so
Man.
surprised he was able to take off.
It's like we had him his rookie year, then because of the whole Urban Meyer circus, like he didn't even know who he was. It's like, dude, you drafted him. How do you not know him?
Crazy. I mean, listen, after the way Andre Cisco's playing, I'd kind of be rather having him than Jordan Whitehead right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the interceptions, but some blown coverage plays here and there have been a little bit hard to watch.
How Andre Cisco fell to the 5th round still baffles me.
That's
I think
true.
it was
Him and
because-
Antonio Johnson both falling were crazy.
It's like, did y'all not watch these dudes in college? I mean, come on, man. Like Syracuse defense was actually good because Cisco was that dude.
He's like, I know the knee happened and he had the ACL and whatnot, but still, he shouldn't have fell that far. I'll take it because I love the man and he's balling for the Jags right now, but that's a weird fall to me.
Definitely. And speaking of weird draft falls, how did Tank Dell get in the 3rd round? Honestly,
Still.
how did nobody have this guy within the top 5 wide receivers? I mean, listen, it was AC football with Houston, but come on, that's still a first round, not probably first round, but an early day 2 talent.
Early
Yeah.
talent league. And now he's pretty much, well, he's not the number 1 receiver because Nico Collins still is. And Nico
Yeah.
Collins' career
Yeah,
is
he's
kind
really
of
good.
He's good.
Receiver
Yeah,
round
he's
being.
nice.
Yeah, maybe they got something going there. You got Damian Pierce in the backfield. You got those two at wide receiver. You got a quarterback in C.J. Stroud. Will Anderson is basically being double and triple teamed because they know what he can do. You let John Dart get himself going on the other side. They got some pieces there. Give them another year, and Marcus, it ain't gonna be so easy for y'all to win that division.
Oh, it's not going to be easy. We still got it, but they're
Yeah.
building something good. Bobby Slowick is going to be a head coach in like 2 years.
Oh, facts.
right down.
Bobby Slowe's amazing.
Switch
It's that
to
Shanahan system, man.
Yeah.
Man, yes, Johnny, that game
It's pretty brutal, bro. Like,
bro, unless you are gambling, unless you have someone on your fantasy team, why are you watching that game?
yeah, there's.
I mean,
nothing.
I'm watching Louisville completely lay an egg right now on national television, but
are they?
they're
Louisville
down
said.
2014. 50 seconds left in the 3rd.
Bro,
what?
let me.
Jack Plummer's letting me down big time, man. I don't get it.
Oh my
sport.
God, Virginia.
Hey, man.
Cavaliers, man. I mean, if Tony Elliott actually wins this game, I owe what's called Dabo Sweeney an apology because I thought it was going to be over. But
Yeah.
also, any Clemson fans out there, I'm sorry, man. It's done. Dabo Sweeney's going to be coaching in Liberty next year.
Hey, it'd be a perfect spot for him too.
Wait, who just got hurt? Somebody got hurt.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you know what? Sorry, Bears and Panthers. It ain't happening, bro. I can't do it no more.
All I know is somebody here said they could beat Florida State. Somebody amongst us.
Right now, I plead the 5th. I cannot say that there may or may not have been some substances when that statement was made, but I'm just going to say right now, if it fails, I own it.
Hey, man, I hope to God they do for my own personal agendas.
Oh, yeah.
But
Especially with
somebody
Jeff
here-
Braun. And Jeff Braun, the
Oh, okay.
hometown guy, being able to deliver this kind of season, like, it's one of the best stories in the ACC right now.
Yeah. But still, man, I need somebody to save the ACC, but I can't go through life with Florida State with no
Florida
adversity.
They must not be as good, bro. I just cannot do this. It's miserable as a Gator fan seeing Florida State and Georgia top 5 in the country. Like
I will say, though, Jordan Travis has definitely impressed me a lot this season. I mean, Keon Coleman is definitely doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but I can't trust this team when it comes to the college football playoff. Like, again, if they match up with somebody like Washington or like if he's still able on the sideline, Michigan for Jim Harbaugh, no way. No way.
Now, I want to ask you, Mike, because this has been a conversation I've seen people have. Some people are saying you would take Keon Coleman over Harrison Jr. as far as wide receiver 1. How do you feel about that, bro?
Whoa. Listen,
What were they?
I seen it. I seen people talking about it, bro.
Don't get me wrong. Keon Coleman's a very talented wide receiver. Definitely somebody who's a fringe first-round pick, but Marvin Harrison's a lock at top 5. Again,
Yeah.
the talent just continued on another generation, and I'm just amazed at the fact that Marvin's going to be able to see his son go as a top 3 pick. That's crazy.
No, it is really crazy. Like, that's amazing, dog.
Like, you know how it goes when like someone's like anointed and picked as going top 3, top 2 for like 2.5 years, and then when the closer it gets to the actual time when they can actually come out, somebody comes along and bursts onto the scene that has measurables, has good production, and people think, okay, well, I think this guy translates just a little bit better. And then all of a sudden the draft comes around, they get drafted ahead of them or get drafted way higher than they thought they were going to be before.
Yep.
And then the guy that you were tabbing for 2 years, you poke all these tiny holes in their game. And it's like, where was this 2 years ago? Where was this? They didn't do anything wrong to discourage you play-wise, and they put good tape out there still. So what the problem is now?
Yeah. Who was it the hell that had that one year? Derek Stingley? Where did he get drafted?
Oh, my God.
He went
Third.
overall.
Third, yeah.
Yeah.
Right before my boy Sauce, it was
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy.
I was like, God, I didn't think Stingley was great even as a freshman. I thought he was
I
good.
agree.
I didn't think he was some generational prospect, and I kept looking at the tape. Sauce was always better than me,
Yeah.
even up
for
to
sure.
that time, even during the seasons, and then the injuries with Stingley kept happening, and he didn't get to put any tape out there. So I'm just like, okay, just go with damn Sauce. What are we doing? You're hanging on to 2 years.
The funny thing was, I was having a conversation with my dad before that draft, and I was telling him about Sauce. Like this dude is different. Like this dude is like that. And he's like, well, let's see how he plays against Alabama, because they're about to play Alabama in the playoff. I'm like, okay. Now they probably gonna lose the game, but if you watch that game, did y'all notice that Alabama stayed far away from him?
They locked up.
Absolutely. Because he was clamping.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like
One time I was like, oh, never mind, forget it. Nope, we gonna stay away from him.
I was like, that secondary was not why Cincy lost that game. They lost the game because Bama realized that we're bigger than them up front and just run the ball all day long with Brian Robinson and call it a day, which is exactly what they did. Like, Sauce was so good, he didn't even the guy next to him won the Thorpe Award that year. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And by the way, what was that guy's name?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Yeah, it was Kobe Bryant. Yep.
He's
It was
turning
Kobe
playing with
Bryant.
the Seahawks. He's playing pretty good ball over there. So shout out to Kobe.
Shout
Yeah,
out to that.
I mean,
full
Kobe's
stop.
thriving right now in that secondary in Seattle, man. It's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
again, him and Devin Witherspoon, like, again, outside of Sauce and DJ Reed, that is probably my favorite cornerback room in the entire league.
Yeah,
If-
Devin
if-
Wood.
Like, if you're a guy who has good instincts and you have good ball skills and you're tough, pray to God you get drafted by the Seahawks if you're a corner, because they will treat you right. Woolen was great his rookie year, still good now. Witherspoon's been awesome. Kobe Bryant's got him where he's fit in. Like, it's a good secondary room. It's a young secondary room, and they're going to keep getting better.
Watch
yeah,
Devin.
and I mean, again, Devin, sorry to interrupt you, AB, go ahead.
I was just saying, I watched him grow as a player, like from little league all the way to now. Is like the talent. This is how talented. Let me tell you how talented this secondary was, because he went to Pine Forest High School in Pensacola, Florida. Let me tell you how good the team was, and still is. Devin Witherspoon, top 5 pick, right?
Mhm.
On the other side was a guy named DeCarian McWilliams, who's currently a starting corner at UAB right now, and is probably going to get drafted this year. They had, before them, Martin Emerson Jr., who plays for the Browns. Devin Witherspoon was playing behind him. Think about that.
That's crazy.
That was literally their starting secondary at one point. Those 3.
Those wide receivers were in hell, man.
my
That is
God.
crazy.
Yeah.
Those are
Right.
just high school kids. Like, you can't subject them to that kind of
No,
brutality.
the Panhandle was a no-fly zone.
And as a matter of fact, one of the wide receivers, there was a wide receiver there that was he was a freshman, but he was on varsity at the time. He's now playing for the University of Minnesota. He's a freshman this year. He's playing for
Insane.
Minnesota.
Wow.
Insanity.
That's talented that roster was. So seeing what he's doing now in the NFL is like it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise because it's always been there, but you don't really have a whole lot of scouts really come down this area a whole lot. And his grades weren't that great, but he ended up going JUCO, and once he got the grades, Illinois discovers him. He goes there and is like, yeah, he's going to immediately be that guy he gets there.
Which is crazy because Pensacola is not exactly like a talent wasteland. Like the all-time lead rusher in NFL history is from Pensacola, Trent Richardson, Alex Leatherwood, like Emerson, Witherspoon. It's not a wasteland. I don't know why there's not much attention there.
Well, I think also one of the things you got to remember is that when Devin came to Illinois, he learned from two very impressive coaches, both in Lovie Smith and Brett Bielema. So that also was really just helping to just elevate the talent that he already had. And I mean, after seeing that pick six on Daniel Jones, I knew it's like, ooh, this boy's going to be good. He's going to be a star.
Yeah, I mean, they finally got him off the field.
Yeah, I'm watching that now, man. This is scary, dude.
It's brutal.
It's a scary injury, man.
Bro, the scariest things ever to see on the football field are guys getting carted off. It's not fun at all.
Bro.
Mm-hmm.
Former New Mexico State players charged facing 37 felony charges.
I saw that, yeah.
Whoa, what?
That's insane.
Yeah, brother is wild.
37 charges?
37.
And the allegedly prosecutors say sexually assaulted teammates. Oh yeah, I remember that. The New Mexico scandal. I do remember this.
That is crazy.
Yikes.
Wow.
Like that is crazy, but yeah, working. Look, I know I'm not gonna put you through too much pain talking about the Jets. I know it's painful.
No, listen. I mean, I gotta cover it. So, I mean, you guys are off easy. I gotta,
You have to.
You gotta talk about it every week. You gotta cover everything.
That's hell.
I know you wake up every day talking about every game like, damn, do I have to see today?
AB, I have to wake up, I actually dream of getting back to the days of 2015 Ryan Fitzpatrick, and we're still trying to chase that high in terms of a quarterback. And I'm so sad. But the biggest thing I will say is, though, this is one of the best defenses I've seen in the past 5 years.
Or not.
Yeah.
They're nice.
If it wasn't for Nathaniel Hackett, and I will say this, though. I think the time has come for Trevor Siemian to be the starter. Zach Wilson, listen. I'm frustrated. We've had almost 3 years right now of Zach Wilson. I like the kid. I know it's basically waving the white flag for Joe Douglas, but he knows after seeing from Howie Roseman and 2 Super Bowls with the Ravens, you cannot waste a year with a generational defense. All I'm asking is to at least give us a chance at a wild card spot by December. And if by some miracle that defies physics, the human body, anatomy, biology, and everything else, that Aaron Rodgers does come back, that 30 for 30 intro will be glorious. And I need that Super Bowl highlight reel.
This is life as a Jets fan right here. Like, you're hoping beyond hope. Like, we're in the end times.
It's Copium, baby. It's beautiful Copium.
Hey, man, I have been there. I have done it. I have seen teams quarterbacked by Jake Luton, by Gardner Minshew, that one little stretch where he was playing out of his mind, sort of, kind of.
Oh, Minshew magic was crazy.
It was so nasty. I was like, bro, this dude is not it. After we played the Saints and they just said, keep everything in front of you, make him throw deep, I was like, yeah, this ain't it.
Win a freaking Super Bowl.
Hey, man, it bees like that. And then 2021 rolled around. He won the first game. And I remember this vividly. The Jags Twitter account tweeted, never satisfied. We still want more. Like, after, like, showing the whole, like, locker room celebration and everything. Lost every game after that.
Oh,
but
my
you know what? It was damn worth it.
It was worth it.
Greatest Christmas present of my life.
Look, bro, we've all had it because I had the Fitzmagic. We started off trash and like we started winning games towards the end of the season, bro, with Fitzpatrick. So yeah, we all been there.
I had season tickets in 2012 to a 2-14 team, right? Blaine Gabbert was the starting quarterback.
I had to deal with Tony Romo as my starting quarterback for years.
At least you went to the playoffs.
Oh, I'm sorry. How many playoff appearances did you have there, AB, though, with Tony Romo? Guess what? And then we had, like, Well, since 2010.
How many did I get?
Hey, listen, we suffer together, man. Again, we're not enemies right now. We both are going through the ring draft.
I watched us literally fumble the bag against the Seattle Seahawks with Tony Romo as the holder. Do you know what that did to me as a fan?
But guess what, AB? AB, here's my response.
Tough one to come back from.
It's tough.
We had to win in the bag, and all of a sudden, the ball got a little slippery, and we lost by one. Pick it up, he go score, and he got tripped up.
He don't know real pain.
Here's my response to that.
Could be a Titans fan after that Rams Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Hey man, that's what they deserve. That was the perfect ending that season. You know what? The Titans got what they deserved that season.
Why? Why would you say that?
Because fuck the Titans. That's why.
Well, Kevin Carter former Gator did end up with a Super Bowl ring, so yeah. Because he was on that team.
There you go. Symmetry.
So that helped.
But I will say back to your Tony Romo sadness, AB. Cross the river. Like, at least you got to the playoffs.
I know it.
I went a whole decade of my life. I was 10 years old in 2007, and then we didn't sniff the playoffs again until I was damn near old enough to drink. That's suffering.
Probably were drinking anyway, but
wait, you guys had playoff appearances after 2010?
Yeah, like 2.
Oh Mike, that's so sad, bro.
What's that like?
That's not bad, actually.
I'm still stuck in 2000. I'm still stuck on LaDainian Tomlinson being stopped at the 1 yard line.
Oh man, that was pain.
What year is it now?
No, that's not what he's stuck on.
How many New Jerseys have y'all had since then? God, man,
it's got to be like the Cleveland Browns jersey meme where it's like name after name after name after name after name.
Yep.
No, Marcus. You know what Mike is stuck on? He's not stuck on that. He's not stuck on LaDainian Tomlinson. He's stuck on Mark Sanchez in the
let's say Mark Sanchez.
Oh no.
Now, hold on. Just give me a second because now I'm getting a PTSD attack.
Bad man.
That's awful.
I'm still mad at Brian Schottenheimer for this day for having Mark Sanchez throw 50 times in games. That's insane.
That's nasty. Like, why would you have him throw 50 times? Why would you have anyone throw 50 times?
Because Brian Schottenheimer's entire resume is built on nepotism, damn it. And it.
Oh, come on.
It's funny, though. Like, knowing who his dad is and the fact that he throws the ball so much, it's kind of weird. Like, Marty's probably looking at the damn screen like, what are you doing?
Look, I will say me and Mike both, we're living right now, and we survived the Adam Gase fraudulent coaching tenure. So,
Adam Gase was high when he got hired.
The guy was terrible.
I'm trying to figure out why he got hired again. Like, what were the Jets looking at? You saw him in the division twice a year.
Honestly, between Mike McCarthy and Adam Gase, I was nervous about Mike McCarthy, not going to lie. But again, if I could go back in time, I definitely would pick Mike McCarthy. But
yeah.
I believed in Tannehill. That's why. Because I thought if Adam Gase could get at least some par of Ryan Tannehill production out of Sam Darnold, I could have lived with it. But Mono had other plans, of course.
Brutal.
What was he doing? Like trying to revive Studio 54? Like, what was going on?
I mean, it's the New York City nightlife, baby. Sam Darnold's a popular USC quarterback. It's a recipe for disaster.
Very much so.
In New York. Think about it. Yeah, that's a perfect recipe for disaster. You going from LA to New York.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a culture shock. And oh wait, hold on.
Wait,
I saw Jack Plummer try to just bury a deep ball, but defensive pass interference.
But what was it a culture shock? I mean, and the LA nightlife is
Oh yeah, but again, we're talking about USC post 2004. I mean, these guys weren't, on red carpets anymore the same way that, Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush were back in the day. So some of the luster kind of wore off, but
not really when you got the Chargers who sucked there and then the Rams who were like, nah.
Don't even want the Chargers there.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even want the Chargers there. So the nightlife ain't never gonna go away, especially with some of the guys they got now. And the
That's true.
And the nightlife is very, very. Let me stop. Sorry, y'all.
We get it. You went to Los Angeles. We got it.
Oh my gosh.
But listen, but going back to the 2021 draft real quick, you could go through my old tweets and you'll be able to find threads of me trying to explain why you just keep Darnold, but with the second overall pick, you pick Penei Sewell. So in this way, you have at least a franchise left tackle no matter what. Then you get Elijah Vera Tucker, and then you would at least have the blind side protected before you get another undrafted free agent QB to replace Darnold when he's injured.
You know, and that probably would have worked out pretty well.
Right?
That would have worked out great, actually.
Like if nothing else, would have had a foundation.
Exactly. We were right there.
Yes,
all I know is that 2021 draft, I will look back fondly on as probably the greatest draft in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like
that was an insane draft class. I mean, Urban decided that he wanted to try to spoil the fun a little early, but thank God you guys decided to part ways. Shout out Tony Khan. Thank you for making that fire.
Oh, thank God. Like, all it took was him to be a national embarrassment every other week, and we finally got him out of there. But I will always give him credit for that draft class because you got the quarterback, you got one of the best running backs in the league, you got one of the best young corners in the league, you got your future left tackle, starting safety, some nice depth pieces a little later on. Like that, we went like 5 for 5 in those first couple of picks. That's kind of crazy. No one hits that well in any draft ever.
But now you have a right tackle issue.
No, we don't.
I know. I just want to
give Anton Harrison a few seasons. He's going to get his feet. He's going to get his feet under.
And he's been fine ever since the Kansas City game. Like he was very much a young player with the block Chris Jones 1-on-1 with no help, and it went about as well as you expected for a guy playing his like third ever game at right tackle. He's been fine ever since.
Like, why would y'all do that to him? Why would you make him block Chris Jones, who's one of the premier defensive linemen in the league, 1-on-1? Like, what are we doing here? Why would you make a rookie do that? Like, do y'all not care? Like,
it's a simple answer. Press Taylor.
Press Taylor needs to be fired, but he should have been fired for that alone.
He will never get fired because Doug Peterson loves him, and he's basically his son. It's never going to happen.
I don't know what kind of videotapes he got on Doug Peterson, but
hey man, one head coach loves him, another head coach is his brother. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, he's always going to be able to find a job. Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking, had he not been making some questionable calls, I was thinking he'd get some head coach interviews, but I think he's still got some more seasoning left to do.
I'm still surprised. Like, if you told me, like, at this point in the season that Mike Caldwell will be the coordinator that's probably going to get head coaching calls and interviews and not Press Taylor, I would have laughed in your face.
But now that the Raiders job is open, I think Mike Caldwell in Las Vegas could be a nice little hire for them.
I'm gonna be honest. They have their head coach already.
You like Antonio Pierce?
I do.
He definitely fits the vibes. I mean, when he gave that press conference, like it really did feel like he started to win that locker room already.
Like the players loved him already. And you can tell, like you can tell this last game, like it was a completely different team. Like
definitely,
you can tell they want him to be the guy, and I think Mark Davis really likes him as well.
He does.
Like, I think already.
No, go ahead.
I think several things happen at play. One, like y'all know how it happens when the coach gets fired and like the team plays well like the week after, especially when the coach that they fire is a disaster, and you played the shitty ass Giants. So I mean, it was a perfect storm. But that being said, I'd probably give Antonio Pierce an opportunity these last couple of games to see, okay, can we turn it around? Can it have him playing hard the rest of the way? And if then, give it really, really serious thought and not just here, we'll give it an interview, now go away, here's where we're actually going to hire. Like, give him a real opportunity if things go well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And also when you think about Antonio Pierce, I mean, again, this is a guy who was a part of that Tom Caldwell Super Bowl team with the Giants back in 2007. So he has championship experience. He may not have paid his coaching dues in terms of the league right now, but he has some experience coaching in the past. And we saw what happened when you didn't hire Rich Bisaccia. So this is basically, you don't get second opportunities to rewrite history twice. So this could be a big thing.
Yeah, do you want to make that same mistake again? Is probably what they're going to keep thinking about. Because in that case, I probably would have just kept with Bisaccia just because he's been on the staff a long time. He's been here a while. He's a steady hand. And that's what that team really needed after all the chaos of that season. And then you hired maybe one of the worst head coaches of all time in this league. Like, back to Josh McDaniels. Why in the blue hell did they think hiring Josh McDaniels in the 2020s was going to be a good idea? Because we've already seen how bad he is as a head coach before in Denver. You saw it in the division already, Mark Davis. You've seen it already. You know he's an ex-Patriot coach. Those guys do not have the greatest track record. He's not the most likable guy in the world. And he did the same things again.
I mean, the second he tried to push Derek Carr out of Vegas, I knew it was just bound to be fired, because you can't justify going from somebody who's been in it a decade for that. Like, again, the whole Derek Carr fiasco is insane, because how are you going to do him dirty like that after a decade with the franchise? You built an offense around him. He had to deal with AB shenanigans, terrible drafts, a terrible offensive line after Donald Penn retired. So now you just set him up for failure constantly, and you just make him a scapegoat. Like, come on. And Jimmy G too? Like, why would you replace him with Jimmy G?
And you paid Jimmy G to do it. And it makes it so bad. Aiden O'Connell is probably by far and away the best quarterback on the roster right now. I don't think it's close.
Y'all mean porn star Jimmy?
Yo.
Hey, man. They boys really paid a Coomer to play quarterback. That's fucking wild.
But yeah, we got a big slate of games in college and the NFL. Like, we're gonna start with the NFL. Well, maybe not that first game that's on NFL Network. Ain't nobody finna watch that. Ain't nobody's finna watch that.
Hey man, they gave Germany a great game last week. It's time to settle down a little bit. Give them some mid.
Did you have to give them this kind of mid this week?
Hey man, the game is the game. They're gonna watch.
They have nothing else to do in Germany. Of course, they're gonna go watch.
And we have nothing to do with 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
I do. What to do?
Hey man,
watching that.
You watch the Thursday night game between the Bears and the Panthers. I want to hear it, AB.
I'm no longer watching that game.
Yo, you were watching it. Still turn it on.
Y'all don't like Tyson Bagent missing wide open targets by 3 yards?
Oh God, though.
Misery.
I am still pissed off. Josh McDaniels really had people thinking that boy was going to be something. This is the redux of the Raiders look horrible tweet from Jeff Saturday last year. He came in straight off the couch and beat the Raiders in his only NFL win. And Tyson Bagent, who's just some guy, comes in and just shreds the Raiders this year. So it's like, what are we doing?
Some guy. But clearly in this first slate of games, the clear best game is going to be the Browns and the Ravens. Let's just get that out the way right now.
Is it clear?
Great defenses. And by the way, a lot of people don't know, the Ravens got the number one defense in the NFL right now.
The Ravens are cooking, bro.
That defense is fantastic. But is it really the clear best game? Is it that clear?
I like Jacksonville and San Fran.
I don't.
Honestly,
what's the reason?
Stroud versus Burrow is looking like a fun QB battle. Again, it won't be the best.
Yeah, that will be.
That's looking like that. Look, CJ Stroud, I'm going to just go right out and say it. He's already a top. He may already be a top 7 quarterback in the NFL right now.
Best rookie quarterback I've seen since
the breaks. I'll say top 10.
You know, breaks. That boy is going out there. He's going to get some really good defenses.
So Hurts,
dunking on
Mahomes. What'd you say is above Herbert?
Yes, right now. Yes, I actually would.
You put whoa. You put CJ Stroud over Justin Herbert?
Put him over Herbert.
I actually would.
No, you wouldn't. Relax.
I think he's top 10, but I mean, Justin Herbert without Mike Williams, I can't really push that agenda that far. I'm not saying AB isn't cooking, but I don't know. I can't agree with that.
I mean, I will say Justin Herbert with Mike Williams wasn't that great earlier on this year either.
Because come on.
I mean,
now.
Corey
Be
Linsley
serious.
is dealing with dealing with that heart issue. So like they have a second string center the whole time.
And I will also, in his defense, I will also say this: Brandon Staley as a head coach right now is really holding them back.
I could have told you
absolutely.
that.
I mean, come on. At some point, hell, they don't care about charge no way. But I mean,
So you mean to tell me the guy who played Mike Williams in a nothing game right before the playoffs and got his back broken, and then the guy who very next week blew a 27-0 lead in the playoffs is holding a team back? Really?
who was the quarterback that blew that 27-point lead?
I mean, it wasn't all him. They didn't do anything crazy.
One player does not simply blow a lead by himself.
It was most of the defense's fault. Like Herbert was fine.
I mean,
The only thing they gonna knock him for though is that one touchdown he missed like early on. That would have probably put him up like 34, 35. But other than that, it was fine.
Plus, you got to remember Joey Bosa getting flagged on that helmet throw kind of set up the field goal. So, I mean, it could have at least had a chance in overtime.
Yeah, they could have, but I mean, Joey Bosa was just—I don't know what he was on that night. He was in hell.
It was a bad month for the Bosa brothers then. So I got a couple good chuckles out of them, not going to lie.
All I know is about the Bosas, if they see a white quarterback, they're a little disappointed.
Yo, I am weak.
That's crazy,
I
man.
am weak.
Come on, AB, you know it's true. Come back.
Who do y'all have winning the?
I say it.
Who do y'all have winning these three important games here? So the Browns and Ravens, Texans, Bengals, and 49ers, Jaguars. I'll go ahead and say I got the Jaguars winning against 49ers.
I got Ravens, Bengals, and a close one. And I'm going to go 49ers because Debo is coming back this game.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Wait, is
I'm not
Trent
sure
Williams back for the 49ers too or no?
I'm not sure he is.
I'm not sure if he is, but I know they said for a fact Debo will be back.
I'm going to go Ravens, Bengals, Jags.
I'll say I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns actually won that game just if they played out of their minds defensively that day.
That's true.
But Lamar Jackson's there and Deshaun Watson's on the other side. So I'll take the Ravens there.
I mean, Deshaun Watson wasn't horrible in his return.
He's not good either.
Look at the Steelers, bro. Oh my God.
I don't really seem serious.
5-3.
Wait, Saints and Vikings. What about Saints? Mike, what about you in those three?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to go Ravens, Bengals, and then 49ers, but it's going to be real close. Possible overtime.
I think the game's going to be close.
Like, if the 49ers can win first down and they can run the football, then yes. But, like, they've been down to run the football, and the Jaguars' run defense is really, really good. And the linebackers are good.
But they also just got Chase Young, so that front four is going to be a little bit extra aggressive trying to get after Trevor. I think Trevor will hold his own, though, but I'm just saying, watch out.
Yeah, it's going to be more of a Christian Kirk and, like, Evan Ingram game over the middle. If they can get it there. If they can't, and the team's not be able to get going, then it could get ugly. But again, if the Jags defense is able to hold them to like 3 point, like 4 or 5 yards of carry or something like that, they'll be in good shape. And if Purdy cuts down the turnovers and turnover what he throws against a defense that leads the league in turnovers and is really opportunistic and really athletic and can fly around, then they might have something cooking. But again, it's all about first down.
That's true.
Now, I will say this. Speaking of the Bengals and Ravens, I just got to talk about this whole division real quick. This whole division is by far the best division in football. If you look at the records, look at these teams. You got the Ravens division, they're 7-2. The Bengals, I believe, are 6-3.
Mm.
The Steelers and the Browns are both 5-3.
That's insane.
If the season were to end right now, all 4 of those teams are in the playoffs.
I think we actually played one of them. I think so.
It's like if people are down on the Steelers, and I get it. Like, I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett. I don't think anybody is.
No, absolutely not.
That defense is back to being one of the top defenses in the league.
Is it?
Yeah, yes, they are. That defense is good.
I think it's good, but they're a little undisciplined also at the same time.
Yeah,
They can be, and they do need to clean that up. But when they're on and they play well, that defense is hard to score on.
Problem is that's the only avenue they have to win because they also have to score themselves because Kenny Pickett is going to be drunk for 3.5 quarters most games, and in the fourth quarter he might throw a jump ball up and it might get caught, or he'll just go on like a 6 for 10 passing in a couple of drives or something like that. It takes a lot for things to go right for them to win games, and that's just a not good recipe.
And I have them beating the Packers because the Packers
stink.
Experience.
Yeah, the Packers are garbage.
The Jordan Love experiment is over. I'm sorry, it's over.
Ain't no love in Green Bay.
Bo Nix, get ready to learn Packer.
Hey man, that wouldn't be a bad spot for him. Not even trying to have fun. But get him some receivers because, yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, none of those guys are number one receivers.
Romeo Aduze, honestly, in that wide receiver room with Christian Watson, that wouldn't be too bad a combo.
He'd be athletic.
Yeah.
I'm not big on Christian Watson though, to be honest, because he's a guy who can make big plays, but like he'll probably be hurt for like 5 games in between, or he'll drop passes.
Availability.
That's true. That's true.
What?
Let's see.
Now we got a great game right here. Falcons and the Cardinals. Let me stop.
Oh my God!
It!
No, we're not.
Stop it right now.
What?
I've already gouged my eyes.
Taylor Heineke Power Hour, boys. We got to get hyped for it.
Kyler Murray's returning.
Oh my God!
That adds some intrigue.
I like Kyler Murray, but do I really want to see him play with this Cardinals team? No.
It's disgusting.
Lions and Chargers. Yeah, give me the Lions. I mean, Jared
is
playing some great football right now.
I would not be surprised.
I think the Chargers might steal him, bro.
Really?
I mean, they could, but it's hard to think that because besides Keenan Allen, right now, who's Herbert throwing to? I mean,
yeah, because it's hurt, right? What's his name? Palmer.
Mike Williams. Yeah. Palmer's hurt because he's a big one because he's the only guy that really gets downfield, and Quentin Johnson is not ready at all.
Mm-hmm. They've been trying to get Darius Davis more involved too for a speed factor, but again, he's still much better return guy.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
You drafted him in the first round, but it's like, what do you do with him?
Yeah, when the guy's just not ready, he's not ready. It is what it is. But I think the Detroit's just too physical up front for them, and they'll probably win by like 10 points.
All right, Mike.
I think David Montgomery's going to be back too, so the Lions is just going to basically run the ball down their neck.
Yeah, just hammer them.
Here you go, Mike.
Yeah.
Jets and Raiders. They're going to need you out in Las Vegas to go cover them.
I'm already looking up plane tickets right now because I'm going to probably have to take over for Hackett in the second half.
Oh, my goodness.
But I think we'll barely win only because we're just going to make Aiden O'Connell's life very difficult. Like, again, Max Crosby is going to be all over the field, but I think if we just trust Greg Zuerlein's leg, we'll pull out a chance.
Yeah, I can see y'all winning that game for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think. I think the Jets win that game.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't know if it'll be because Zach Wilson. I don't think it will be, but I mean,
I'm gonna say defense.
I think the defense is going to show up. What if Zach Wilson just plays out of his mind, though?
He's due for at least one elite game, right?
I mean, because if he played well against Kansas City, but that Kansas City defense, they stepped up when they needed to. But I mean, he showed flashes that game, like, hey, he can be good.
Yeah.
So,
but like, what's the baseline for good with Zach Wilson? The baseline is very low.
Well, no, AB, go ahead.
No, I was not.
Well, the way I look at it is like, for me, when you rewatch the Chargers film, you're going to see one of the biggest things for me is Zach Wilson's strength is his athleticism. And there were plenty of opportunities for him to take a couple yards down the field because there was some wide open space by like the third quarter that he just didn't see or just kept trying to force throws to. I think Hackett's biggest mistake is not really giving Zach a green light for if he sees some grass to try to at least get a couple yards on the ground. Because again, Breece Hall couldn't do anything against that Chargers front four, so we were just basically stuck there trying to force throws.
And then when he was at BYU, like we saw him running at BYU, so I agree with that. You had to cut him loose and let him take off and slide if he has to. Let him run, get a few yards, get what he can, get down, run the next play. You can't
it's Nathaniel Hackett, brother. It's Nathaniel Hackett, brother. This man took a knee with nearly 2 minutes to go and trying to get to halftime in the first half of an AFC Championship game. That's when I knew then that brother is cooked dog food. And the only reason he's still coaching is because Aaron Rodgers likes him.
Listen, I could use some Blake Bortles magic right now because I thought at least Zach would be able to give me something like that this year. But
hey, man. Listen, man, I love Blake Bortles as much as the next man. That brother was not a good quarterback, but he was an elite player off the field.
You respect Blake Bortles.
He did have 35 touchdowns, which I still can't explain how that happened.
Well, I can explain it very easily as someone who went to those games all the time. We were down like 28-6 most of the time, so we just kept throwing. So that's just kind of what it was. But nah, like he was what he was on the field, but off the field, that brother was a king. I'll just leave it at that.
That interview, I saw that interview with him in his apartment. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, man.
He's such an unintentionally funny dude. Like he's awesome.
Marcus, you respect Blake Bortles for getting y'all to an AFC Championship.
Well, he was the quarterback on the team that went to the AFC Championship. He didn't get us there.
He did have a couple touchdowns that game, though. So
he was on fire that game. I will say
that.
He did. Like I will give him his credit. He was on fire in that game, and we just didn't let him throw it because, well, we were scared Blake Bortles was going to throw in the triple coverage. But he was on. And outside the Buffalo game, which I went to, it was cold as hell that day.
Oh yeah, upstate New York weather, man, is crazy.
Oh, it was here in Jacksonville.
Wait. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh my God.
Yeah, like surprisingly, it gets colder down here. For whatever reason, it does. But I sat there. He threw for 84 yards, I think, but he ran for 10 or 100, so it kind of split the difference. And then in Pittsburgh, he was good in the second half. He did what he needed to do. Threw a touchdown to a fullback. Shout out Tommy Bohannon. And in the AFC Championship game, he played well. Played well enough to win if we just let him cut it loose a little bit more. Didn't try to go full surrender Cobra in the second half. But that is what it is.
I mean, you also did get screwed out of a Miles Jack interception that would have almost sealed the game.
Miles Jack wasn't down. I will forever maintain that to my dying day.
No, he scored a touchdown, so they did get screwed.
Absolutely.
It was on this. There was nobody around them. He was going to walk in the end zone. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. I was going to rip my shirt off, man. Hey, bro. I became a man in between them going to the playoffs for the second time, bro. I was 10 years old the first time in 2007 when I saw it physically, and then I was 20 when he got to the championship game. I suffered enough. I wanted happiness. I needed happiness. I deserved happiness. But now, Trevor Lawrence is my quarterback, so I have happiness. Hopefully, it will be eternal sunshine happiness. He might lift the Lombardi. If we get to a parade, forgive me for the man I will be that day. You might see some pictures floating around Twitter. You might see some floating around Instagram of a shirtless, bearded man throwing punches and yelling Duval with a bottle of Jack Daniels. So forgive me for that day. Just giving you fair warning.
If I see pictures floating around of that or a video of that, not only will I make a trip to Jacksonville and find out where Marcus lives, I will tell the police, look, y'all, don't even worry about it. I got this. I will drive him to the precinct my darn self.
Yeah, Marcus, I'll set up a GoFundMe and everything for the bail money, man. Don't worry, you're covered. We'll be smoking that AFC pack.
Mike, there will be no
yes,
bail.
Sir. There will be bail.
No, there will
be bail.
I will be a lawyer too and request remand, no bail whatsoever.
Hey,
listen,
man,
I'll take it to the appeal court. I'll handle Marcus's appeal. We'll take it to the Supreme Court if we have to. I got you.
Marcus is a flight.
There we
risk.
go.
He's a
I got flight risk. Besides, I have one ace in the hole. I have one of the best lawyers in the game that I do podcasts with. The homie Big Ayo got me. If nobody else do.
Legal services of Big AO Associates.
No, I'll give you $200 if you don't represent him.
That's so shameless, and you know it. Let people have happiness. If the Cowboys win a championship, you're doing the same thing.
I'm not ripping my shirt off. We used to this. I'm like, great.
Yeah, AB, what are you talking about?
AB, what are you doing?
What are you talking about?
What?
Listen, all I know is if the Jets win the Super Bowl, I'm going to rent out a helicopter. I'll be throwing out money across the street. I'll empty out my 401k. I don't care. The whole island of Manhattan is celebrating.
Exactly.
I don't know if you want to blow your 401k. You're going to need that. Hold on now. We can't do that.
If the Jets win the Super Bowl, it's worth it. In this economy, we ain't going nowhere, no way.
Then he'll never retire.
We retire regardless.
He wide open touchdown.
Besides,
Dang,
dude, hey, I don't know why I hear you talking about use of this. The last time they won, the Jaguars were in their first season of existence.
We still got 5.
Yeah, before HD.
We expect to win Super Bowls.
You watch them?
Yes.
Maybe you were a small infant. You were a small child when they won those titles. I don't want to hear it.
I still watched.
AB's just got Larry Allen highlights just rolling in the background and just be like,
right? You got Jay Novacek jerseys?
But no, really, actually went to Super Bowl 28 in Atlanta. Since they were there, they actually went to that game.
Oh, damn, that's cool.
Well, when your cousin's Emmitt Smith, I mean, he kind of did it.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you never seen the picture I posted of me and him playing pool, in which
I didn't. What the hell? You're in
which
damn,
he won.
AB's got big time connections. Let's go.
This man milks the hell out of this picture. Like it's like a little
picture, bro.
Well, I'll say this: if Mike McCarthy get out of line,
he's been out of line. What are you talking about? When he been out of line?
He's been out of line since he said yes to Jerry's offer, man.
Oh my god.
Well, I'll say this: this year is not necessarily, and I'll say getting screwed in Philadelphia didn't help either. So you know,
dry your eyes.
I mean,
you haven't experienced it yet, but you will.
I experienced getting screwed. We played in Philadelphia last year. We did not get screwed.
I mean,
all I know is
one of us here had their favorite team beat the Eagles this year, but
that was funny.
That was funny.
That was funny. It's like you watched that game and you knew in the very beginning, okay, something's not right with the Philly. Like the Jets are. You knew early in that game the Jets were the better team that day, and they showed it. That defense had Jalen Hurts running for his life the entire game.
Now, speaking of that game, AB, do you care to get your tears out now? We'll just let you have it.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. The floor is yours to cry about that.
No tears whatsoever. All I'm going to say is this better team did not win that game, and we'll see them in a few weeks. Again, postseason. We'll see them again.
This is cold.
That wild card L is gonna hit so hard, man. I mean, listen, I get the cold.
That's all I'll say about that. We'll see them again.
You said this for years.
Marcus, you worry about your game this weekend against the 49ers.
I'm very much worried about my game. It's only us. We good. We happy.
Yeah.
We saw what happened. Y'all played them.
Yeah, unless you get down by 20 plus, then will you be by the bridge?
They're not getting down.
You got experience in that, don't you, huh? Mm-hmm. We saw what happened. They pulled your panties down on national television in front of the whole world.
If they do that to y'all this week, I ain't gonna let you live. Well, actually, you know what? If they do that to y'all this week, we may not see Marcus on another podcast because by that point, he may have jumped off one of the 7 bridges in Jacksonville.
Marcus has seen worse.
Hey, man, I've seen terrible things with this team, so nothing that happens will ever hurt me. It is what it is.
Mike, let me tell you. And this was as recent as last year. Every single time the Jags lost, he always said he's by the bridge.
I was never actually by the bridge.
Listen, I know that feeling. Sometimes you see what's called after a Jets lost that Clorox bottles there. I'm just like,
oh yeah, it's like tempting, right?
Don't do it. Like again, I'll call the pastor. I'll just be like, "What was that hymn again, sir? About temptation."
Let's go to confessionals.
Mike, I'm glad you said that, Jerry. I guess you would know, right?
Bro, look, I gave all my sports teams to God, bro. That's what I said.
No. You know what I'm talking about. You know what picture's going viral.
I don't know what you're talking about. That picture does not exist. That is not even me.
It's a picture of Jerry when he was younger, pouring bleach in a Chick-fil-A cup.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Look,
It's an iconic picture.
Look, this is what happened. This is what happened.
I know the Ryan Tannehill era was a little bit rough, but come on, man. We don't have to be bringing out the extra cleaners.
This was actually the Ryan Fitzpatrick era, plus Dan Mullen era at UF. And so we had just lost to Georgia in a tough one, 24-7, I think it was. And I was like, you know what? Everything's fine. And I just got the Clorox and just poured it in the cup, bro.
Took the picture is what I want to know.
Somebody screenshotted it, but I recorded myself.
What I want to know is how you can reach that point of sadness. Don't get me wrong. I know it's been rough for the Gators the past couple of years, but I had to live through the Chris Ash era. I had to go almost a decade without a bowl game, and we still lose in a Yankee Stadium. It is like, again, I know you guys have pain, but there's no pain than again, Mets fan, Jets fan, Rutgers fan, Knicks
Good
fan.
Lord.
How are you still here?
God's toughest battles, but I'm still standing.
Look, I don't know how you're surviving being a Knicks fan, bro. I can't lie to you.
Opium and RJ Barrett highlights. That's all I'm riding this season on.
Wait, you're a Knicks fan?
I need some Julius Randle explanations as we kind of go.
I need that.
I'm putting a bounty on y'all.
Listen,
y'all ruined our potential finals run by injuring our best player.
You were getting smoked anyway,
AB. There was, even with a fully healthy Heat roster, you can't tell me that series wouldn't have ended in 6 games in the finals. Jokic was going to dominate. You would still dominate. You could get Glenn Rice back on that roster, and it would still probably be a 7-game loss.
Like Glenn Rice?
No.
Yeah, but not against that team.
What? Look, I can't show props to Glenn Rice. What, you want me to say Eddie Jones? Go back even further and then try to see if Alonzo Mourning can come back and be in a front court with.
Matter of fact, call Ronnie Cycli too.
Hey, you bring back memories of that era. Yeah, Eddie Jones, yeah, Mike James out there playing point guard. We had Rasul Butler. We had Karan Butler too. Like Ryan Grant. We had a pretty decent team, and then Shaq wanted to come. Like,
AB, hold up. You know what that team sounds like in today's terms? The 2023 Brooklyn Nets.
That's actually so true.
Thomas averaging 28 a game. Well, he hurt now, but
bro, the Brooklyn Nets, in all seriousness, they're like the definition of they have the most just players I've ever seen. Role players that you see on these big name teams that play very well, but on serious actual contenders would be 4th options, and they're all playing on the same team in Brooklyn, which means they're gonna be barely in the playoffs. They'll be a 6-7 seed maybe. But they'll be a tough out in the regular season, and then you get to the playoffs and realize, oh yeah, that's why that guy was a 3rd option in Phoenix. That's why that guy was a 3rd, 4th somewhere else. That's why Cam Thomas wasn't getting burned like that when all those guys were there.
Respect Cam Thomas.
I'm gonna be honest.
Cam Thomas is filthy.
He's a hooper, bro.
Thomas could actually go be a number one, at least a number 2 option on a really good team. Because he does have the mentality.
See, I love him, but he reminds me so much of Deion Waiters with shot selection at times, except he's actually a better shooter. So it kind of works out.
Like Deion Waiters?
No.
Whoa. How can you call Cam? Actually, you know what? Yeah, considering the shot selection history, that is a pretty fair comparison,
Yeah.
And this is very much a team where it's he's a gifted scorer, and this is, again, a team of just role players and Ben Simmons. as a feature for whatever reason.
They need him to score buckets, essentially.
Someone got to score. He's one of those guys where he gets on a team where someone has to shoot the ball constantly, and he puts up his numbers. Then he gets on a serious team, and it's just like, man.
All right. Louisville's about to get the ball back. Speaking of college football, Louisville's getting the ball back. And we got 336 left in the game. So they got to feel possibly win the game.
Speaking of that, what we feeling about the rankings and how college football is shaking out so far?
Yeah, especially with Ohio State being number one, because I know that's a controversy from some people. So how do y'all feel about Ohio State being ranked number one over Georgia?
Just because of resume, I'm fine with it. Like, Tennessee was number one over Georgia last year, but, like, did you think they were better than Georgia? No.
Yeah, right.
Same here. But the resume, considering who they've beaten up to this point, they deserved it. It's fine, whatever. It'll shake out in the end when they play Michigan. So that'll figure itself out. And with the Pac-12 guys, with Washington and Oregon 5-6, again, that's also going to figure itself out. And don't look now, Alabama's starting to pull themselves together.
Yes,
so they're going to be a dangerous team. Florida State, we don't know how that's going to shake out.
That's crazy. Louisville.
Depending on how things happen with the ACC championship. And hell, if they finish undefeated and someone like, say, Washington or finishes undefeated, Oregon runs the table, and whatever hell happens with Michigan and Ohio State, what's committee going to do with them?
So also, I mean, all right, so what happens, because, Texas is at 7, Alabama's at 8. What happens if Alabama wins out and Texas wins out?
I'm going to say this.
I think Bama definitely gets in easily.
Yeah, you got to allow Bama in because of the Texas win.
Yeah.
No. The reason Alabama gets in is because, unlike Texas, Bama's beating an undefeated team in Georgia.
That's true. Yeah.
And if they win the SEC and beat an undefeated Georgia team, there's no way you can keep them out. You can't do that.
If you're a one-loss team, you win the SEC. I think you're getting in regardless, even with like the caveat of you beat the best team in the country. So that automatically stamps you. Georgia's also going to get in just like 2021. So that's 2 SEC teams right there.
Dang.
The loser of Ohio State and Michigan get booted out automatically.
Oh, easy.
You just said it, Mark. I think this will be a little bit different this year with Georgia. The reason why, I don't know if it's as surefire that they get in this time.
Yes, it is. Stop it.
No, they're getting in.
If you got Washington, who's undefeated, let's say for instance, Florida State's undefeated. Bama beats Georgia, and then let's see who else is there. You got Oregon there. They would have beaten Oregon twice, so Oregon's not there.
It will be either OSU or Michigan.
Yeah, because that's gonna play itself out.
If it's Michigan and they lose, they're definitely out because the schedule's bad.
Michigan and Penn State this weekend, so who's to say that they'll be undefeated going into that?
They're not losing to Penn State. Stop it.
I mean, I don't know about that. Listen, Harbaugh's distracted from the scandal. I think Drew Aller can pull one or two things out of his ass and maybe, pull off the miracle. It's not improbable. That's all I'm saying.
Mike, the thing is about Drew Aller pulling something out of his ass, possibly. I thought he could possibly do it against Ohio State, and he was just ass. So I don't trust Penn State at all. I've never have, never will.
Real quick. Who told you about Ohio State's defense early in the season?
I knew they were good. You didn't tell me anything.
Did you know they were good?
Yes. What are we doing?
The boys is nice. That Notre Dame game let me know.
That was a crazy game. And then Kyle McCord driving that down the field, that final drive was nuts.
Yeah, that was wild.
Game for them to realize Ohio State's defense is good. I was on that defense before that game.
See, I can't quite get this thing out of my head of like, I'm not sure it's a surefire thing Georgia gets in if they lose the SEC championship. Yes, they are. What are we doing?
They should, but you have Ohio State. Say Ohio State wins out. Alabama.
Who do you pick over them?
Undefeated Washington?
No. They'll get in if they're undefeated, but I'm not picking them over Alabama.
So if FSU and Washington, they could be undefeated. Ohio State could be undefeated.
See, that's the thing. It's going to come down to probably Georgia versus Florida State. They're picking Georgia in that case.
Yeah, if that's the case, they're picking Georgia.
Alabama fans would be livid. I'm not Alabama, but FSU fans would be livid, bro.
Oh, they'd be pissed.
Because it'll be very chaotic, and it's going to come down to the committee just thinking, I just think this team's better.
And the resume. Yeah.
I mean, they already have an SEC bias in the committee. I mean, that's been known for about a decade. But did we not see how many times Alabama and Georgia have been in the college football playoff?
Yeah, they definitely do.
Did they not earn it?
I'm not saying they didn't earn it. I'm just saying that there could have been an argument for other teams.
I mean, some of those Alabama years, yeah.
But I will say, I mean, the years that Alabama got it, they did win, except to get a loss.
I mean, some of those were like they didn't even win the division, but when they got in, they made the most of it.
So yeah, it's like you get in, you win.
But the thing is, if like what happens after, that's whatever. Like make the most of your opportunity, make the most of your second chances. That's great. But like, you still didn't win your division. Like, did you really earn it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how Michigan looks without having to steal science this time. So
it'll be fine.
I mean, I just don't trust Jim Harbaugh in general since he can't one bowl game in almost 7 years, and then all of a sudden he beats Ohio State. That's a little bit weird for Jim.
Here's the thing. What I heard from Pete Thamel earlier today, there's a chance they could come out tomorrow and say, "Hey, Jim Harbaugh, you're suspended."
That's crazy.
So you never. So now you got to wonder if you're Michigan. You got to wonder about that. They suspend Harbaugh again. Because remember, he was already suspended for the first 3 games this season for something else.
Yeah.
Plus, they rescinded his contract extension too. So that's another big thing.
The scandal, because they were talking about extending them. So now they done rescinded that. So you got to worry about that if you're Harbaugh. And then on top of that, if he gets suspended again, what is that going to do to the psyche of that team?
I think like fine.
Coach again.
It's like they have a lot of experienced guys on that roster. Like I think JJ McCarthy, they'll be fine leadership wise. But again, they'll get past Penn State. I'm like 98% sure of that.
Game is that
even with this, don't care. They're better than Penn State.
Okay, we'll see.
Wait, is the game in Happy Valley or is it in Michigan?
It's at Happy Valley.
Oh, yeah, then I can definitely see Michigan pulling off. Listen, there's something about that whiteout, man. When it happens,
it's facts.
It leads for upsets.
It's a noon game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't. Right. I don't care if it's a Happy Valley, the Valley of Death, the Valley at the end of Naruto. I don't trust James Franklin, and I never will. I just don't. And after seeing that offense, when it's like, oh, they have all these tight ends. When you say all that, that means you have no threats down the field whatsoever. The defense is nice. Don't get me wrong. But if you got to use tight ends,
Sean Clifford big time, baby. That's why.
It's just kind of a wild sentence to say.
Because Drew Allen played well this year.
No, yeah. I mean, but in terms of just like a leadership, like calming the offense down. Because I like Olu. Don't get me wrong. Like speaking of Olu, though, top 5 pick for me. I think he's the best offensive tackle right now in the draft class.
Yeah, he definitely is.
But I do think that, again, more of that like common demeanor on in between snaps that Sean offered from the experience. That's another reason why James Franklin's offense just hasn't been able to click.
Plus, it's a James Franklin offense, so that's just kind of what it is. And like again, like the Pac-12, that's gonna sort itself out. We all know. Yeah, Washington has a difficult schedule ahead before they get to the championship game against Oregon, presumably if that happens. Because they plan to play the Apple Cup. I think they put Oregon State also at some point down the stretch.
That's gonna be
not a cakewalk by any stretch. So they had to survive a shootout against USC, which they ran the ball in the damn throats that night.
Yeah, but the thing is, that Washington thing is score. So if you see them play against a really good, because that Oregon State defense is good.
Yeah, they're tough.
If you see them scoring on Oregon State, if you're Oregon State, you get very concerned because I'm not trusting that offense. Because if Washington gets stopped, we saw against USC, they get one stop, it's a wrap. It's over.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what the game was going to be going in because USC's defense, like what defense, right? So we knew they were going to do their thing, and then all they had to do was get at least one, and they got just enough pressure on Caleb Williams. Even though he tried his damnedest to get him out of those holes that defense dug for him. And it was so bad, Lincoln Riley finally had enough of damn Alex Grinch.
Man, fired his friend. He's man, We boys, we homies and everything, but man, this business, man.
Like that's like Dan Mullen firing Todd Grantham. That's how big that is.
There's one difference, Marcus. Lincoln Riley fired Alex Grinch on his own. Dan Mullen was forced to fire Todd Grantham.
Yeah,
the result was the same.
I can legit confirm that right now. He was basically forced to fire him. It was basically, if you don't get rid of him, we're getting rid of both of y'all right now.
It happened anyway. So
and Mullen still got fired anyway. But
yeah, right on the wall.
He got fired basically the next week. But that's basically what it was told. Either you fire him or we getting rid of both of y'all right now.
So nasty.
Plus, it's a Lincoln Riley team. I mean, is it really a season for him if the defense isn't garbage?
Exactly. Like we know it is by now.
Like, bro, like that's your only issue. Your defense is bad. If you have even an average defense, you have a national championship caliber team. And Louisville gets the stop.
They got it
with the win.
Again, how the hell did they get blown out by Pitt? I'm still trying to figure that game out.
They just had a bad game.
Yeah, but damn.
So Louisville, correct me if I'm wrong. Louisville, would they face Florida State in the ACC championship, or how that work?
Yeah,
it would be them. Yo, they can't escape Louisville. That is hilarious.
I don't trust Louisville.
Yeah, I don't trust them either, but I trust them more than anybody else in the ACC.
But as I was explaining to Marcus before we all got on, traditionally since they've been in the ACC, it hasn't been a great matchup for Florida State.
Yeah, they always.
It's like I don't know what it is, but it's like every time they play it, it's like.
Last year they almost got them, but I think Florida State ended up winning.
I mean, they've more often than not usually have beaten them, but it's been tough games.
Plus, with Jeff Brom there, if there's anybody who knows a thing or two of being able to play big-time matchups for the Cardinals, it's a guy who's been able to play quarterback for them in the past.
Yeah, he played in a lot of big games, so he knows what it's like. And you can tell he's happy to be there. He wants to be there. He loves Louisville. I mean, I like this Louisville team. I really do.
Okay, I will say when it comes to Louisville football, shout out that scumbag by Petrino.
Oh my gosh. Who do y'all? I want to ask y'all, man. Who do y'all have winning the Georgia Ole Miss, and we also got Michigan and Penn State. Who we got in those?
I got Georgia, pretty much because unlike Ole Miss, they actually have a defense.
Yeah.
But also because they're going to build Ole Miss up to be this great team. And the last time they did this was when Georgia played Kentucky.
Yeah.
And
nobody built Kentucky to be some great team, baby. Stop it.
The media was like, hey,
but we knew that style of play was not going to work against Georgia, bro.
You know full well no one took that serious.
They do it every year. They try and beat Georgia at their own game, and it never works.
It's not going to work.
No, you're not talented enough to do this.
I will say this. I think that game, Ole Miss is going to stick with them for the first half. I think they will stick with them for the first half. They'll be able to get some plays off on them. But the second half, the talent that Georgia has, and that defense is going to wear down Ole Miss.
Yeah, I definitely got Georgia taking this one. I mean, I like what Lane Kiffin has done at Ole Miss, don't get me wrong, but again, he's just going to get outmatched, and Jackson Dart isn't going to be able to handle that front four. Plus, Carson Beck makes the occasional okay throw without Brock Bowers, so I've been impressed by that.
I agree, man. I agree. I think Georgia's defense is going to overwhelm those boys at home. Big plays. This, I don't think Lane Kiffin's defense is going to be able to stop Ladd McConkey. So, yeah.
After Marcus speak, I got to ask y'all about Lane Kiffin, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Marcus, make your pick first, though.
First of all, Carson Beck, man. My heart is very conflicted here because, one, he plays for that team in the state of Georgia, sadly. But he's from my hometown, so God, this is not fun.
He's a solid player.
He's cool. He's fine. I like going up for my Duval boys, but I can't do it when he's wearing that red and that G on his helmet. I can't.
I know it's disgusting.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Hey, are you telling me you picking Ole Miss?
Hell no.
He's not picking Ole Miss.
I was gonna say,
Like, I'm not crazy enough to do that. But then again, you were crazy enough to pick TCU last year, so
he was crazy. He picked him before the game. We had a live show. He picked TCU over Georgia.
Wow. AB.
I got to quit. He got on here and said something crazy. They thought it was me. And now I got to look bad.
What, the devil inside you came out?
There's no devil inside of me. I keep the devil off me.
Man, devil took you over that day.
Max Dugan was on his shoulder telling him to go with TCU. That's why.
That bias was
like
crazy.
he said, like, man, I think TCU has some for him. I very quickly and succinctly said, no, they don't.
I mean, and that's another reason I can't trust Jim Harbaugh. How are you going to lose to Sonny Dykes and TCU in one of the biggest stages of your career then? And, like, come on. And you expect me you didn't cheat? Get real.
I'm still stunned they lost that game the way they did because they just didn't even attempt to run the football because that was the big thing that they were able to do all season long. You have Donovan Edwards back there. No, you didn't have Blake Corum, but Donovan Edwards was balling all season. The offensive line is very good, and you just didn't do it until you got down by 14 points late in the game. And then all of a sudden, you see all these holes breaking. You're playing against a 4-2-5, which you can run the ball on with consistency, especially if you have an offensive line like they do and the running backs that they do. And you just didn't do anything in the red zone, and you couldn't stop Max Duggan at all with that defense. So it's like, what the hell, Jim?
He blew it.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'll be back. My phone's about to die. So just give me a sec to get a charger.
Gotcha.
But while we wait on him, I gotta ask y'all. We'll ask him when he gets back. The audio of Lane Kiffin that came out earlier.
I didn't hear it yet.
Oh, you said what?
Good.
I didn't hear it yet.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find and play it.
Was he a super villain?
Let's just say it's not.
It wasn't great. It's not great. It's not. It's a very weird situation.
Is this something that we would expect from Lane, though?
Hey, man, Lane train. You ride until it goes off the rails. Sometimes it goes off the rails quickly.
That's right.
Got it right here.
And the Bears won.
Yo, somebody check on Tony.
Oh, they about to have a time minute.
You should have saw the ending. They tried to kick. They didn't go for it, and tried to kick a 60+ yard field goal.
Hey man, got to do what you got.
With predictable results.
Here it is. Get ready to be shocked, Jerry.
I'm ready.
I'm here. When you have any messages the head coach wants to talk to you, and you say, I'm not ready to talk to him. Well, what world do you live in? I'm sorry, you got me disrespectful. Get out of here. Go. Go, you're off the team. You're done. See ya. See ya. Go. And guess what? We can kick you off the team. So go read your writings about mental health. We can kick you off the team for not showing up. When the head coach has to meet with you and you don't show up for weeks, okay, we can remove you from the team.
So, what'd you think about that?
Well,
It's
in this day and age, I think that's something that'll rub a lot of people the wrong way. I could see how people would be upset about it. I'll say that much.
yeah,
Do I
like,
think it's 1,000% like wrong?
not really, but he did not handle that in the best way. Like,
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I agree. It wasn't in the best light. And especially to think about it, I mean, there are some future recruits who could hear that audio. And, you know, some of these kids want to make sure they have a support system around, not just with the team, but also from the coaching system, too, to make sure that they can handle, like, what they're going through. So, like,
Correct.
Lane might also regret that down the line, but I don't have, like, a big problem with – it's not what Lane said, not the message he was trying to deliver. It could have been worded better, but
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think it was how he said it.
Yeah, he went full football coach, but you can't really go full football coach with things like this.
And he's like, just go read your mental health. I'm like, uh-oh. That's.
And see, I pretty much said that it's not a good look for Lane Kiffin because I get it. I understand, like, he wants to meet the player. Like, the player does need to show up. So I'm not saying, I never once said the player wasn't wrong for that because he is. You got to show him the coach has to meet with you.
Yeah.
But to handle it the way all I was saying was the way Lane Kiffin handled that was just terrible. Because you making yourself look like you don't care about your players and you don't care about mental health. Like, the kid is clearly going through something. So you can treat it as, it's nothing. And for you to say, read your rights, we can kick you off the team because mental, like, if for you to actually come out and say that, that's even worse.
See, that's my thing. Is like, it made him look bad because it got recorded and we heard it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a 90% chance that we probably would never heard anything about this if it wasn't caught on camera, it wasn't caught on tape.
Correct.
It's like football coaches say some of the absolute wildest things behind the scenes and then practice supply these players. And they're very comfortable doing it. And the fact that you got caught on tape, you actually visually hear something like this, and it is very visceral. And if you kind of listen to it, it's like, damn, what the hell is this coach on? What the hell's wrong with Lane Kiffin? And what the hell's going on in Ole Miss? So that's not a great message that you want to send out to recruits and send out to parents and things like that. So that's not the greatest look for anyone. Like, the actual message wasn't the worst, but the way it was delivered and the way it sounded so callous, it's just like, yeah. You ain't handling that.
And on top of that, you're already getting sued for $40 million.
That's also true.
The judge is going to hear that audio and think, I understand what you were trying to do, Lane, but I don't think Lane Kiffin wins that lawsuit. I really don't.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Plus, I mean, it's their second of their last 3 head coach hires that has done something stupid off the field that distracts from the program. Because, I mean, shout out to Hugh Freeze over there in Auburn. Hopefully he's not using the facility phones for out of business calls.
Yo, that's true. Dang, Ole Miss, bro.
All I will say is shout out to Mississippi State, bro, because they had them players snitching. Like, that's a true rivalry like that. You know how much of a rivalry you gotta be for your coaches to basically say, hey man, y'all go talk to NCAA about Ole Miss. Y'all go give them a trouble. Y'all go say something. Y'all know how big of a rivalry you have to be to get your players to go out and just be snitches?
That's pure hate.
Pure unadulterated. And all because they recruited someone that went to a high school in your city right next to your campus.
That's crazy. But he was committed to Mississippi State for a long time, too.
Hey, man. All I will say is A.J. Brown made the right choice. I'd much rather be on campus in Oxford than Starkville. I know it's Mississippi at the end of the day, but I'd rather look at the Grove and look at these nice, beautiful women who are going to be like lawyers or wives of lawyers and things like that than go to Farmtown, USA.
So basically what you're saying is you're basically going to be the guy that tells A.J. Brown you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes.
And who knows more than fun than Chad Kelly, right? Like,
exactly.
I heard about the legendary stories that he had at Ole Miss. Oh, yeah.
Hey, man.
That man was living a life.
Heard a lot of things from people there and from, message boards, all that, yada, yada, yada. He was living his raps.
You want to hear some wild stories. You remember Jacob Eason?
Oh my God, dude.
What about Jacob Eason?
Ask about his official visit the weekend to Florida.
Oh my God, I remember that.
And the reason why.
What happened?
Let's just say, had he gone to Florida, he would have lost his girlfriend.
Oh my!
He did lose his girlfriend, but he got back to Washington.
Man,
I'm
sure those Gainesville nights are pretty crazy on Saturdays, man. I mean,
can confirm.
Or looking all tired, like that infamous picture is out there.
Oh, by the way, Mike, I had one of my homies. He was on the baseball team in Florida on the last national championship team. So I went down to Gainesville quite often. I can confirm those Gainesville nightlights are indeed as advertised.
Mm-hmm. Midtown after a big time win.
Woo! Woo!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, I gotta get those nights back though. Like I'm just a little bit outside of Queens now. We got that Rick Pitino and NIL money now. It's not a good start now, but we're gonna get there. A few years, we'll get there. 2-3 years.
Just keep Rick Pitino out of restaurants past like 8 o'clock, and everything will be okay.
Yeah, and keep him away from all the nightclubs, the night spots.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be able to show. No, and he's not escaping Queens. He is staying there in the middle of campus, man. I'm making sure. Like, I don't want any funny business. I just wanted one March Madness appearance. That's all I need.
He will be the king of Queens. Word to Kevin James. That's all we have for.
I'll be doing that whole meme. I'll just be in the background, just like, yeah.
Got another game in the SEC, actually. You got Tennessee going on the road to Missouri.
Ooh, that's going to be nice.
Okay.
Be a nice game right there. Makes you wonder, how's Missouri going to respond, bounce back from that loss to Georgia? I mean, in a game where they were in that game the entire time, and then you got a Tennessee team coming in. It's been pretty good for the most part this year. Defense is really good, but who y'all see winning that game?
I'm going to go Tennessee, bro. There's a such thing as Georgia hangover. And, yeah, I'm going to go Tennessee. I'm going to go Tennessee just because of Georgia hangover.
Give me Missouri. I'll take Mizzou at home.
I'm with Marcus on this one. I'm going with the Tigers. I personally really like Brady Cook. I think he's a very underrated quarterback. A lot of it to do with the wide receiver room, but he's really impressed me this year.
I will say, shout out Missouri, man. They are a very interesting program that I've always had my eye on, because if you ever notice, every time there's a big-time recruit, about 96-7% of the time, and if he's from Missouri, specifically St. Louis, he's going to Mizzou. Only person I've really known that they have missed out on is like Ezekiel Elliott, but other than that, they've got guys like Dorial Green-Beckham, Terry Beckner, Luther Burden, like guys like that. Like they usually don't miss in state when the guys are elite.
They got one Williams Winery.
There you go. The pipeline continue.
They did miss on Ryan Wingo, but I will say this: I'm not sure that recruitment is actually over.
I doubt it, because those kids do not leave the state of Missouri. They just don't.
He did pick Texas though.
Yeah, it's a pretty out one, but they ain't never over.
Yeah, I don't know if that recruitment's over, but Jared, you're your own, bro. I think I'm gonna go Missouri on this one too.
All right.
I think that offense is. I think those receivers are gonna be able to match up pretty well against that secondary at Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Luther Burden has just been. He's been the best.
He is so good. Luther Burden.
Luther Burden is him. Yeah,
for sure. That room is so elite. They let Dominic Love just walk to Georgia because they had guys next up.
And then he cooks. Missouri. That's what's funny.
Hey man, Burden was cooking too. Everybody was doing their thing out there. That receiver room was elite.
Yeah, the one thing Missouri has had is receivers in the last few years. Don't know what it is, but.
Like, they walked into the SEC and went to the conference championship like 2 straight years. Like, that's how talented they were.
Why you had to bring that up, man?
I mean, they did.
Well, why you had to bring that up?
Am I not wrong?
Especially when one of those years we held them to like 120 total yards the entire game and still lost by almost 30.
Hey, man, it was dark times in those years before football. It was what it was.
How do you hold a team to less than 120 yards total offense and lose 42-13?
I mean, you turn the ball over constantly and give them short fields. That's what happens.
Wait, was this the Dan Mullen era we're talking about, or is this Charlie Strong?
Oh, no.
This is Muschamp.
Yeah,
really? Hmm? Wait, what game are you guys talking about? Was that 2010?
Yeah, Jeff 2013.
2013,
oh,
yeah.
Jeff Driscoll was on Bass on that game.
Jeff Driscoll, man, you're throwing it back.
Jeff Driscoll is source of my PTSD.
Christ.
Yeah, you guys didn't deserve that, man. Even after waiting for Felipe Franks, like, I will say I'm very happy that you guys landed DJ. I think that next year he's going to really impress people. If Billy gets an offensive coordinator, I have high hopes for the team. You just got to be able to really just because, again, I didn't like it at first when they didn't really have a de facto offensive coordinator. I still think that whenever teams try to like get cutesy with it, like you still need you need one definitive voice to operate that offense right now. And Billy just decided to not do it. And I don't understand why.
Just
be a
CEO.
Let the coaches coach. Just focus on some things instead of having to worry about what formations you got to run, what you're calling. Just watch the game and make the changes from there.
Yeah,
we're not saying formations.
Yeah, we're not saying you can't be involved. You got to be involved. You're the head coach. So naturally you got to be involved, but you don't have to be so hands-on.
No, exactly.
Yeah, you're in your own head doing that stuff. And then you don't have enough talent to really do anything substantial except for a bunch of 18-year-olds, which I love them to death. I love Trey Wilson to the absolute pieces. I love Trevor Etienne to absolute pieces. But these are 18, 19-year-olds. Ricky Pearsall too.
God. The Yahoo headline I just read for the Bears game. Bears outlast Panthers on Thursday Night Football. You know what the little quote is under someone had to win, right?
Oh my God.
I mean, they did.
I will say, what better place for the Battle of Midway than U.S. Soldier Field? Am I right?
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Hey,
Battle of Mid.
Bears won twice tonight because not only did they win, remember they got the Panthers the first round pick.
Oh yeah.
The Bryce Young trade keeps going on.
So the more they lose, the better that pick gets.
The gift that keeps on giving because Carolina is not a good football team. I don't see them winning more than 2 games this year.
Carolina trying to get Marvin Harrison, man. No,
I'm trying to get Carolina.
Yeah, that's going to Chicago. Marvin Harrison and Caleb Williams are likely going to be the first 2 picks of this whole time.
Oh, gotcha. Oh.
But speaking of which, though, so let's say you are the Bears, are you definitively traded Justin Fields? Are you going to try to trade down and get a couple more extra picks for the rebuild? Because I can understand the argument for keeping him, but I'm personally going with either Michael Penix or Caleb Williams.
I think right now you have to trade, man. Like, just start from scratch and get you a new receiver as well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I very personally would just cut my losses and just start over.
Start over.
I'm wary of them doing that because I've seen this movie before where that's happened. And the quarterback that got in the team that traded the quarterback, it hasn't ended well for him. I'm telling y'all, it never ends well for him. They better not, because you're gonna trade Justin Fields to another team. He's gonna ball out and end up being better than the quarterback that you draft.
So if they keep Justin Fields, if they keep Justin Fields, then what?
You get an offensive lineman with one of your picks, and you get another receiver, obviously DJ Moore. You have that opportunity right here in this draft. You can get Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair with DJ Moore, and then you can. What's the offensive tackle's name from Penn State again? Because that's if
you're saying Olu and like Marvin Harrison for like the first 2.
You get them as your first 2 picks.
Ooh, okay, AB.
Team and get guys around him. Because that's literally all he's missing. He doesn't have an offensive line, and he doesn't have a receiver outside DJ Moore.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, Justin Fields is not the problem. He's never been the problem.
I don't think it's a solution either, to be honest. That's just me.
I agree he's not the problem, but in terms of just like trying to build the roster, like they have some cap space now, but I think for where the Bears want to go after that Montez Sweat extension, I just think that there's still a few more holes to plug on defense than to try to go out right now and give Justin Fields another extension if they don't have the right coach.
For sure.
And then speaking of which, who's the coach going to be too? Because if it's for me, if the Washington doesn't give the job to Eric Bieniemy, I think Ryan Poles is going to try to poach him here and be like, hey, you want 2 top 5 picks? You want cap space? Come on down to Soldier Field.
Mike,
let's do something special.
You just said something. Now imagine Justin Fields under Eric Bieniemy's system.
Okay.
Now you see
I'm not high on Justin Fields.
AB, you're talking me into it. I'm being honest with you. That's very tempting. I mean, listen, if you got Justin Fields, a good blindside protector, Mooney, Moore, Harrison as a wide receiver, as a three-headed monster at wide receiver, and Cole Kmet has been doing better than I expected.
You got a good tight end, and the rest of your picks, you can address some of the defensive issues you have too. And on top of that, you just said it. You also got cap space.
Damn it, AB. I think that's sounding pretty good right now. I mean, like, again, the Lions are still running that NFC North next year, but that's definitely a very tempting offense.
Who's to say that you do all that, the Bears won't all of a sudden?
I give like 3 guys a call like immediately if they do fire Eberflus, which they really should. I called the enemy. I called Ben Johnson in Detroit. I probably see if Bobby Slowick wants to come in and be a head coach early.
I can see that.
Names right there.
So who's that third name?
Bobby Slowick from Houston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You see? Do you really have to get rid of the quarterback?
They have options. They don't
don't have to get rid of him, but like this also requires you talking yourself into believing Justin Fields will take the leap of all leaps.
Exactly.
Once you get guys around him.
Yeah, but like, we've seen people do this before and it doesn't work also.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen enough of Justin Fields. Like, I do believe he's a talented quarterback, but I feel like I've seen enough of him to know that he might not be the guy to get you over that hump.
Yeah, sometimes a lot of teams get in trouble by just talking themselves into guys because they drafted them, and they try to give them chance after chance and just
Ryan Tannehill.
Shoot him in the face. Hell, Tannehill, and every stop he's been.
I will say, though, if they stick with Fields for at least another year or two, use the draft capital to at least build an offensive line, at the very least, then you get yourself a bridge to get the guy eventually in like 26, or even if you have the picks, pull off a trade for somebody who could be available. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Justin Herbert is already signed the extension, but how much of Dean Spanos' leadership is he going to trust if they can't get a playoff win by 2025? So
Arch Manning movement.
Relax. But then again, also, if you have a chance to get someone like Caleb Williams and you're very high on them, why not just get him now?
Because who's to say that they're actually looking at Caleb Williams?
I'm saying if you are, and then you believe in him, and you believe he is that guy that everyone's projecting him to be, and you have a chance to go get him, just do it. Like think about it. Arizona drafted Josh Rosen number 10 overall in the draft. They were a terrible team, like god awful, nothing around them. But they saw Kyler Murray and just cut their losses and took a number 1 anyway. And they went to the playoffs a couple of times. Like Kyler Murray is a great quarterback.
Let's compare both quarterbacks. Which one has actually been better between him and, if you compare the first few years in the league, Justin Fields and Josh Rosen, which quarterbacks look better?
Fields easily, but the point is they saw somebody better and took him.
That one wasn't as hard. To think about.
I don't even think this one's that hard to think about, to be honest.
Yes, it is. Because what if you get Caleb Williams and he turns out not to be the guy that people think he is?
But what if he does?
You got Justin Fields, he wasn't great either. So I mean, you kind of have to roll the dice here.
Y'all know how controversy follows me. I like Caleb Williams. I don't think he's the generational talent people think he is.
I don't think so either, but I still think he's very good. And people just throw the label around.
He's a little overhyped, but I do agree. Like, he's now, you can make a debate now, because I'm personally, yes, he has the ACL injury, but I'm so really impressed with Michael Penix. And after the way Rome Odunze had those fumbles, like, I personally started thinking to myself, how much of the elevation of that wide receiver room is not just the talent in there, but also Michael Penix himself in the system.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and like I said, with Caleb Williams, here's my other issue with him. Too much of a gunslinger. I get trying to make plays, but there are times where he throws in a double and triple coverage. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
It's an arrogance, bro.
See, some of this, I think, with Caleb Williams is that the closer we're getting to the draft, I think we're slightly overthinking it with him in some respects. But I do think that his internal clock does need to be coached into him in the pros because he will hold the ball for like 7 seconds and just run around trying to make a play. Sometimes you can't get away with that in the pros.
You gotta let it go.
Whereas Justin Fields will take off and run if he sees green grass in front of him.
Counterpoint, Caleb Williams, if you give him time, watch him complete the pass.
So you saying Justin Fields can't do that?
I can't say he can't, but in the NFL, he just hasn't been there.
But Caleb Williams also been corrupted already by Cliff Kingsbury now at USC. Remember, that's the quarterback coach now, so that's another reason why he's been struggling too.
Dang, that's crazy, bro.
I don't think he's been struggling. I think this team's just bad. He has to score 50 every damn game, which is not sustainable.
No, I know, but like in terms of like what we saw like last year, like he's like it just slight downgrade, nothing like too bad.
Yeah.
But like I think people are kind of overthinking it the closer we're getting to the draft with him. But I think he'll be a fine pro. But there are legitimate concerns about like some aspects of his play that you probably have to coach out of him a little bit. But I mean, Trevor Lawrence had those same kind of problems. Like, yes, we were dysfunctional as all hell that first year, but there were some aspects of his game that you probably had to coach up. Like his internal clock wasn't as sharp as you probably thought it would be coming out, and he does have a tendency to still kind of hold the ball and believe he can make every throw. But because he can't make every throw, which is legitimate, he will try to fit it in every so often to his own detriment.
Here's the difference. Trevor Lawrence was also still generational talent.
Yeah, who's to say Caleb Williams isn't?
He's not.
We don't know. We won't know until he gets in the pros. That's the thing about that label. Nobody ever knows anything until you see him in a professional football setting.
And on top of it, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm saying I don't think the Bears are really looking at him like that. I think they're looking at that other side of the offense line, thinking, okay, we can ride with Fields. Because I honestly think if they were done with Justin Fields, they would have traded him by now. They just went with Bateman and then drafted another guy. I think they'd traded him by now and got some picks for him. Since they didn't do that, I'm not gonna say
I don't think there's much more point in doing that though, even now, because they're a terrible team regardless if he's there or not. So just keep him.
Yeah, but let's say Atlanta was looking for a quarterback.
They were gonna do it. What can Atlanta possibly offer them at this point?
I mean, they could have offered a couple of picks.
Could have, but those picks aren't going to be very high. I mean, they're not bad enough to where it's like, yeah, I'll take this. And they're not going to trade pieces because Atlanta's not far from being a real playoff team. So, I mean, just keep them around. Maybe go with option B of trying to give them a real fighting chance. Maybe pick a quarterback. But I don't believe they can go wrong either way. At least catastrophically wrong. Like,
yeah, I mean, I feel like if you build the team around them, you put an offensive line around them, you get them another weapon, you still have cap space, you can still fix the holes you got on the defensive side of the ball. You can draft guys as well, because I do think they need another linebacker as well, a couple of linebackers. You defensive holes there. Maybe another corner, because you're going to lose Jalen Johnson in the offseason.
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. So you can address your cornerback situation there too. You do all that, you're on your way to compete for the NFC North right there.
If they don't use that second round pick on Marvin Harrison and they go Olu and again, it's risky, but Olu and Kool-Aid McKinstry, you kind of kill two birds with one stone and add to that secondary while also getting a blindside, tackle for the long term. Could be interesting.
You have draft options right there, and you can still use another pick to get a possible number one receiver down the line, because we've seen like guys that have gone in the second and third round have become number one guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Adams was a second round pick.
But I think for the Bears, I'm gonna be honest, Marvin Harrison Jr. gonna be 2 times the pass. So.
Yeah,
yeah. I just don't
take the kid and call it a day.
Yeah, they're going to take him and call it a day.
Knowing how wide receiver drafts go, every year we go, hey, this wide receiver class is insanely deep. This wide receiver class is awesome. The crown jewel of that receiver class always goes a lot farther down than what you expect. You expect them to go, okay, this guy will be the second or third pick. They go like 10th. Or they usually take somebody else first. Like, you can never predict these things because wide receivers are so viable. And there's so many good ones. You can find them in a bunch of spots. You don't have to all of a sudden go second pick wide receiver. You can go the 10th pick and take a wide receiver. You can go the 12th pick and find somebody good. Like teams have started to use that thought process a lot lately. And some have even tried to. And then remember that wide receiver craze after free agency in 2021 or 2022, and when Kirk got signed, when every wide receiver was looking at, damn, he gets paid more than me now. And then they kept going to the GMs like, hey man, pay me now. And they said, okay, we can't pay you, but we'll trade you to somebody who will. Like the wide receiver draft has been weird.
Speaking of wide receivers, I'll say this: even though they got AJ Brown now. Good thing the Eagles passed up on Justin Jefferson.
Now, calm down.
No, seriously, because had they not passed on, do you realize they probably have both Justin Jefferson and A.J. Brown on this roster?
I think they'll take A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith right now. They'll be fine. They're fine.
I'm just saying in general, like that could very well could have happened. Because the only reason why they passed, they wanted CeeDee Lamb, but we took him before they did. We found out they did. They ended up getting Jalen Reagor.
There's no way they did that.
It's Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. I love Howie Roseman, but he overthought that one. But again, what they ended up with turned out okay.
I mean, they fixed it. Now we got one more. I would pick Florida LSU, but I'm not picking that game. I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh, don't be a coward. If I could pick that game with all my trauma surrounding that matchup over the years,
LSU by 14.
Get ready for Garrett Nussmeier hours, boys.
Oh, brother.
I think Jaden's healthy.
They already said Jaden is playing.
Oh, he is?
They're saying he's probable. You know Brian Kelly.
Wow.
Brian Kelly don't care about nobody's health.
That's true.
I mean, he killed the video, guys.
Oh my god. Yeah, LSU by 14 plus.
That is the line.
It's gonna be a rough night for Death Valley.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Not gonna be a fun time, bro. We're not gonna be having fun.
Now, I will say this: if I sack Jaden Daniels at least once early in the game, maybe.
If Graham Mertz ends up with more touchdowns than turnovers, then I'll consider that a moral victory.
Look, if Graham Mertz plays out of his mind like he did against South Carolina, then we got a chance.
No, we don't, because we barely beat them, and they're terrible. I just don't see it.
Yeah, but let's be honest, that defense is terrible. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Graham Mertz plays out of his mind. I'm not saying he's going to do it, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, he could play well, and we could still lose pretty bad.
I think if he plays out of his mind, I don't think we get blown out if he plays out of his mind.
You think we stopped him?
We're not stopping those boys.
Not right now, though. No.
Exactly.
If we stop LSU, then I'm be like, oh, wait a minute. What's going on?
I don't see that team stopping Jaden Daniels from running the ball, and not a single damn one of those quarters is covering Malik Neighbors.
Exactly.
Respect Devin Moore?
He ain't covering Malik Neighbors.
He's not covering that, man.
I don't know if he is. Like, if it's Devin Moore or Malik Neighbors, I would feel better about him covering Malik Neighbors than Jason Marshall. I'd say that. Or Jalen Kimber. I'll say that.
Well, somebody has to cover him.
Or attempt to cover him. Listen, it was another big – Pac-12. It was Washington and Utah. That was the other big game in the Pac-12.
Oh, Washington easily.
I got Washington.
Well, I got Washington.
I wouldn't say easy, but I'll probably take Washington.
Bryson Barnes played pretty decently for Utah.
I haven't been impressed with that. I mean, especially replacing Cameron Rising. Those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah, he's redshirting this year. It was like, all right. At this point, Cam, just enter the draft. Just train for the draft. Forget redshirt. Just train for the draft. Because the quarterback, I mean, come on, man. You've been in college for like 7 years already. You don't need to be a professional student.
Yeah, he burned any draft stock he had after the ACL injury. It sucks,
Yeah.
but actually, funny story about Utah. So during the pandemic, what's it called? When they were about to go to the Rose Bowl, the team's head caterer for the university I got to meet him in a Popeyes parking lot because he was picking up some chicken. He told me that Jalen Johnson probably had the biggest appetite out of anybody at the school at Utah, man. It was crazy. Like 14 stacks of pancakes, like coffee, eggs.
Good Lord.
Detail, man.
Jesus.
That boy could eat. It's crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, again, it's nuts.
That is crazy. Like, whose appetite is that big?
That man got the Ocho Cinco diet.
Listen, he got Kyle Whittingham running what's it called suicides up and down the fucking 40-yard line. You got to get all kinds of energy you can, especially with that defense.
I'm not running suicide with pancakes on my stuff.
No, for real, bro.
Coffee. Because you got pancakes and coffee on you, something running suicide, you might have an accident out there.
I can have an accident.
Man, these days were pretty hard, man.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
That is great. I'm not doing that. I do the eggs.
Yeah.
But
I might have a couple pieces of French toast, though, some bacon, call yourself a day.
Yeah, have a little some nice hearty breakfast.
Yeah, a couple pieces of French toast. I'm not doing 14. That's just crazy.
That man's on the Rock cheat day meal diet.
That's way past cheat day for that. Like you on cheating month.
Cheat month.
Trying to pull off the Charles Barkley pre-draft diet, man. Get 300 pounds right before, fall the 5th round, be an extra surprise.
Hey, do what you gotta do.
Man was ordering Domino's before every game, eating pizza, and they going out there getting 20 rebounds a game while scoring 25 points a game.
Hey man, Ocho Cinco subsidized on McDonald's straight up, like before practices, games, all that.
Hey, Keon Coleman's doing the same thing from what I'm hearing, man. The guys.
He did say he was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
He did say that.
He dunking on folks with a McGriddle on his stomach.
Hey man, it's something about them. Hey, everybody had to start eating McDonald's if they going out there doing that. Somebody has some here. We'll get McDonald's myself.
So you get 2 quarter pounders after the itis wears off for a little bit. You just see the ball a little bit clearer sometimes.
There we go.
See, when you play high school football, you get a pregame. Your pregame meal's already it's already there. Like we had Olive Garden catered to us. We had spaghetti.
Oh yeah.
Powerade.
A little bit of fettuccine Alfredo right before you get a 150-yard rushing game.
Pretty
Do
much
some beast mode stuff.
There you go.
Pretty much.
I know what I did. I used to, we had like spaghetti and meatballs and all that stuff, just regular little pasta and everything. Like, but right before like school let out and stuff, before we had to go like cafeteria and eat and everything, I used to go off. With a couple people, we used to go like the little corner store. We used to get like just pizza from there, like the hot dogs from there and all that. Maybe some gummies and just go to town on it. And then go on down, get the pregame meal, then do whatever we do.
Oh, y'all growing.
Wait, y'all got to leave campus for lunch?
Yeah.
I did. Only upperclassmen though.
Yeah. Sure you did.
We couldn't leave campus for lunch. They think we can. Not at my high school. You leave campus for lunch, you ain't coming back to that school.
They let y'all do that?
The high school I went to, let's just say that we was bad kids.
Bro.
No, let me tell you what happened. This is how crazy our school was. There was an actual fire in the cafeteria, right? So all the kids got to get out. Of course, you got to evacuate the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of these kids got in their cars and left campus.
I was at the same thing.
Wow.
I was about to do it. Then the bell rang for us to come back in there. I had to realize, damn, I'm on the football and the baseball team. I can't do that or else I'm suspended. So that's the only reason why I ain't do it.
Hey man, shout out to your skip days. I will say that. If you ever have a chance to do a skip day, take it. Don't be a mark.
Couldn't even do that. I had a baseball coach told us because it was late start day. It was senior skip day. He told us because we had a game that night. If you ain't in homeroom or you miss any of your class, you ain't there on time, or you ain't even in homeroom, you suspended for the game. You know how many players we had suspended for the baseball game that night?
Whole bunch of
7.
There we go.
How
to have the fucking bench coach be the middle reliever, man? That's
right.
A lot of players on the baseball team, but we had like 5 starters out. One of our starting pitchers, who was probably going to start that game, he was out.
Oh,
he was suspended. He tried to make his case, but boy, you was late. He was late. So So you had players playing out of position. I was about one of the only ones that was playing my normal position that night. Well, I was a utility player. I knew I was starting, just didn't know what position I played. I thought I was gonna be in like right field or at first base. No, I got to play my normal. I got to play left field that night. We had guys playing out of position, so we couldn't do none of that. Like
hey,
our
man,
coach.
All I'm gonna say is, vet detention or whatever the hell happens, if you do the senior skip day, is worth it.
Yeah, until your mama find out they should kill you.
Mama didn't care. I was like, cool, do it.
Wish I had parents like that.
Because it's a senior skip day. It's the last couple months of high school. Who cares at that point, right? Just have fun.
But what if you had a chance to be valedictorian because you skipped, you screwed yourself over?
Who gives a fuck about being valedictorian? Am I gonna remember that in 3 years?
Yeah, besides being in the middle of that hot heat, giving a speech, like nobody wants to be giving a speech during the middle of a heat wave during June. Come on, like just take the L and go to detention, enjoy your graduation.
My speech was like, man, look, we done made it through high school. We already know some of y'all ain't gonna do nothing with y'all life. It's just gonna happen.
That's crazy.
Some of y'all gonna go to the military. Some of y'all gonna go to college. Some of y'all we ain't gonna hear from y'all for the next 10 years. All of a sudden, you're gonna find out you living in Bermuda. but hey, we enjoyed high school.
Hey man, that was the best beach. That was the best beach day of my life. That day I took that skip day. Everybody, the whole class, damn near, we organized the whole thing. Went to the beach that whole day. Just hung out, chilled out, everything. Slid back to school the next day. Took the L for a week. Cool times.
But it seems skip day. How the hell y'all get detention?
Because nobody was there. The entire class.
It seems that expect them to be there. Why would you give y'all this? Why they give y'all detention? Like why
it's not an official thing. Like people just do it. It's not like a big official. Oh yeah, by the way, C's ain't gonna be here.
Marcus, when the damn teachers and principals and deans know about the skip day, it's official regardless of what they want to believe.
I mean, they still have to do their jobs at the end of the day, so that's whatever. But teachers didn't care because they were like, "Yeah, go ahead, do it. Who cares? Nobody gonna remember this."
My point exactly. The teachers didn't even care, so why the hell y'all even get detention?
The teachers didn't care, but I mean, the dean's like, it's her job to care. So I mean, you have to do something.
I'd have told the dean, sit your behind down. You know, you would have skipped if you wanted us to sit down.
I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. We just couldn't go off campus for like a couple of days. That's whatever. She was like, I don't really give a fuck, but I mean, it's my job to care.
No more pizza, hot dogs on the corner store.
Nah, man, we did it anyway. Who cares? I mean, security wasn't exactly the most like. We weren't exactly going to Fort Knox. I mean, not that long prior, my freaking Spanish teacher shot the principal, dude. Like,
whoa! How did that happen? Dios mío!
Hey, man, it's a story. It is a story. So, I want to say this is like my 8th grade year going into the 9th grade, so like March 2012. So my Spanish teacher, he had gotten fired earlier that day. And around lunchtime, well, a little past that, I was in science class. He came back to campus, through like the back entrance, went to the principal's office, pulled out an AK and shot her.
Wow.
That story crazy, bro.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And my classroom was like maybe a couple of, like a corner away. Like you walk out, make a right, and then like hit the corner to the left. Office is right there.
Ain't no way in here. Nope.
Wild times at Episcopal High.
Right. School. I'd have ran out of school and drove home.
He had more than 100 rounds of ammunition on him, so he could have done a lot more than he did. We were lucky he was just pissed at the principal and took her and himself. That sounds absolutely insane to say, but, you know.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
A whole bunch of innocent children.
That's true.
Yeah. Kids could have been involved. They ain't did nothing. They ain't pissed off nobody. It could have been a lot worse. So
it was crazy. And then my senior year, like a couple of weeks before graduation, the head of the high school, he gets fired because he kidnapped the teacher.
What?
Yes.
Like what's next? They had the whole magazine snippet ransom note kind of thing slipped under the principal's door. Like what?
Basically, what happened was like they were seeing each other at the time and whatnot, like that type of thing. And the teacher, she broke it off. Our dear old head of the high school, he got pissed about it, obviously. And then one day he just drove out, put a shotgun to her head and her friend's head, and took her to his farm in Gainesville.
Farming.
He got Baker Act and all that, which is like the whole mental health act here in Florida. So that was a whole damn situation. We, the students, knew about it because, like, if you're cool with some teachers, they'll tell you like all the damn tea in the world. So we been knew. And then they had put out this crazy ass statement, like to our parents, like letting us know what happened. It was like, guys, why are you trying to hide this from us? We already know. It's like you don't gotta fake it. Then the next day, they have like the news trucks out, police, all types of security out here for like the news people out there was going to cover it for like 9, 10 o'clock news and everything. And then the minute the cameras were turned off, no security to be found.
That's crazy, man.
That was my high school.
Did you go to?
Marcus, your high school sounds better than like half this entire, like most of the show of Riverdale, man. Like they should have been getting those writers to see what kind of stories they could draw up there.
Right, man. We would have did better than the Black Hood and wherever the hell the Gargoyle was. Like our high school was kind of weird. Like it was one of those like one of the best private schools in the city. Like it's a really good school academically, but like crazy shit happened.
Something is wrong with the high schools in
Hey man, the city of Jacksonville is
shambolic.
Okay. Yes, very much so.
And now we know why Dan Thompson hates Jacksonville.
It explains the way that I am sometimes. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it does.
Like think about it. Like Mike, you listen to all the rest of Pierce stuff. You listen to Pierce and everything.
I mean, it's what draws me to it, man. Again, I always appreciate hearing you guys on Fridays.
Yeah, like it explains a lot. Like someone from Brooklyn, Jacksonville, Louisiana, and damn Houston, that explains a lot about how we are on that show. Explains everything.
I mean, and you said Pensacola was terrible, but we not kidnapping teachers and shooting principals because they got fired.
Hey man, things happen.
The worst thing we got in Long Island is just putting what's it called? Those like those playpen balls in one of the principal's cars, but that's crazy.
Oh God.
We did that in the car, and then in my senior year we got 2 other assistant principals by filling their offices up with balloons.
Oh, our super was hilarious. We like all drove our cars like into like the hallways.
Whoa, that's crazy. What?
Yeah, but, like it's not like it wasn't like it sounds crazy, but like it's an outdoor campus and everything, so like you could do it. Like we had like a little parking lots in the back with next to like the cafeteria, so you can just like drive your car up near like the entrances, drive it up, get into the hallways, get into like the middle of the fields, like the pond near the ponds, like in like general traffic. So like it looked like a big maze, pretty much. Like it was probably one of the funniest senior pranks I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen a couple pretty good ones like through the years while I was there.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, your high school is. I don't know what y'all doing there, but something wrong.
Hey man, it was a whole lot. Man, I met some of the funniest people in life at that school. I met people who were like the children of ex-Jaguar players, like ex-general managers of the Jaguars, doctors, real estate agents, lawyers, people who basically like built the damn city of Jacksonville, man. Like it was a hodgepodge of people.
I wish they would have found time to raise their damn kids.
Hey man.
Crazy times in Duval County, man.
Obviously, they got one thing about being an adult.
Hey man, it's counting something.
Kids going crazy out there, and I can't say nothing. We got one high school here where let's just say you can call it Catholic high school all you want. Let's just say all the freaks over there.
That was a school that was down the street from us.
See? Yeah, you was over there too.
I will plead the fifth, but I will say I went to some of those parties.
Yeah, I'll take that as a yes. You was over there.
Yeah, I knew some people. I mean, I went to some of those parties. I met some wonderful young ladies.
Made a couple fun memories that night, you know.
Some more than a couple.
Yeah, that he was doing this.
Oh, calm down.
Hey, B, chill, man.
You gotta relax. Come on, you ain't got no stories.
Oh, I have them, but I just keep them to myself.
Hey, man, I just drew out some cheese there and see if it's cheese. It's what it is.
You rat. But
why we gotta be like that?
But Jerry said he had y'all got any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
I'll just say thank you for having me. This has been very fun. I will say this though. If Joe Douglas, if you're hearing this next year, please trade for Davante Adams. I don't care if it costs us a first-round pick. I don't care if it costs 2 first-round picks. Make sure Aaron Rodgers is protected in a biodome, and we get all kinds of. I've already called 5 times about donating my Achilles tendon, and I haven't gotten a message back, so I'm kind of insulted. But whatever you guys got to do, just please get him back. I can't suffer anymore.
You're gonna have to fight my Cowboys for Davante Adams if he's on the market.
Oh, you're not getting. There's no. I will. There will be a cold day in hell before I see Davante Adams with that lone star on his helmet. I promise you that, AB.
Jerry will trade a first-round pick for him. I promise you that.
Listen, we'll trade 2 first-round picks. I'll trade Zach Wilson. I'll trade Michael Carter. I'll trade both Michael Carters. I don't care.
Both Michael Carters?
Hold on, Marcus. Mike's trade is dead already. The minute he mentioned Zach Wilson, the trade died.
I mean, you need a backup. You already traded for Trey Lance. I mean,
a couple of 3rd-round picks too. You know, I mean, again, it's an apology 3rd-round pick for. It's like, take it off our hands, please.
They're gonna say no because you included Zach Wilson.
But
you got Trey Lance on the roster. Who cares?
Exactly. You got Trey Lance in the 3rd string right now. You're wasting the boys' talent.
Wilson to the Raiders. The Raiders are going to say no.
Okay, well, again, I'm not saying that Aiden O'Connell is going to be generational, but are you going to trust more Aiden O'Connell or, you know, a somewhat decent 2nd overall pick who just in the right situation could be passable?
Aiden O'Connell, no questions asked.
It's the mustache, isn't it?
No, it's the fact that you've seen Zach Wilson play.
Hey, man.
All right, fine. Then we're going to have to pull out the big guns. A 1st-round pick, both Michael Carters and Bryce Huff. I need it. I just need another wide receiver next to Garrett Wilson. I want Bryce Huff to thrive. Him next to Max Crosby would be deadly. I'll do whatever it takes. Long story short.
You'd have to sell.
He's already selling his soul.
This is copium. I told you guys. I'm running on it.
I've been there. I've done it. Thank God I don't have to do it anymore. Thank you, Frank Gore.
Just imagine Davante Adams with the star on his helmet.
I'd rather throw
it
up.
will be the greatest NFC wildcard loss that Dallas has seen in a long time.
No. He would put us him with CeeDee Lamb would be deadly.
It'd be a good combo, but I just personally don't trust Dak. I like Dak, but I'm not a believer of Dakota Prescott.
Have you seen him the last few games? When they've let him loose?
I saw him go to get within the goal line 3 times and only put up 6 points against the Eagles.
You talking about this past week?
I also saw him step out of bounds right before getting Enzo for a 2-point conversion. I saw him take a terrible sack at the end of the game. That's a couple terrible sacks.
Look,
Marcus is speaking right now.
I already said Terrence Steele got to go. I don't care what you pay. Get him up out of there. I need
Terrence Steele got used and abused, boy. I saw Rick have him in hell.
That's about the only side of my offense line that concerns me is him on that right side. We fixed that.
The thing about Dallas is this man was like screaming up and down, we won't miss Kellen Moore. We won't miss Kellen Moore.
We don't.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
You're telling me you like Brian Schottenheimer more than Kellen Moore?
Mike, let me let you in on a little secret. Brian Schottenheimer is not calling the plays.
It's McCarthy. That's even worse. We're at 2010 this offense.
McCarthy is finally letting that loose.
Is he though? Or is it just the CeeDee Lamb show?
But at what cost though? What has Tony Pollard been doing? What is Tony? Help my boy Tony Pollard, please.
The thing about Tony Pollard, I will say this, and I've maintained this for a while. Tony Pollard is not a workhorse running back.
That is true.
He's not. I mean, you could use him. You can give him a lot of touches, but
yeah, that's the thing. It's like he's talented enough to make it work somewhat. It's just not the best use of him because I love him in the pass game.
I'll put it to you like this: he could be a starter. He could be the starting running back, but you need another guy that can get a good amount of touches too.
Right.
Definitely.
I like Rico Dowdle, but
man. See, the thing about the offense, like it's very good at moving the football, it scores, but in the red zone, it is bad. Like it's bad. It's like 25th, 26th in the NFL.
They gotten better the last couple of games, but for the most part, it hasn't been great.
It's still not good. It's slightly improved. It's not good because that cost you the Dallas game. It cost you Arizona. And it got you in some pickles in some of the games you did win, like the Chargers game. So, but like the biggest thing is it's not great because one, the play calling there is not that imaginative.
The same Chargers who had Kellen Moore calling the plays and we held that offense to 17 points.
The offense is not as talented as yours. Also, that's the other part. It's not as talented. Yeah, but
plus you also had Austin Eckler like just returned back from injury, so he wasn't even 100%.
Like their receiving core is not good. It's not particularly great. Mike Williams is good, but he gets hurt. Your receiving core is CeeDee Lamb and the Pips.
You don't do Jake Ferguson like that?
Yes, it's Jake fucking Ferguson. You just finally used him. Congratulations. If it holds, you have a bigger problem on your hands. But the receiving core overall is mostly get it to CeeDee, hope and pray that Gallup maybe might make a play. Hope and pray that one of the young Tolbert makes a catch here and there like he did in the back of the end zone late in the game. But overall, it's really just feed CeeDee, get him in the slot on third downs. He's going to make plays. He's going to catch the ball. That's why he has 88. Like, he's the guy.
And you make sure not Mike Gallup. What was I going to say? Brandon Cooks doesn't get another concussion.
This is what I said about Michael Gallup. We should have traded him in the offseason. And we trade him and attach a pick along to him and try to get another receiver besides Brandon.
Do what you could because his value was still somewhat good at the time. People still were somewhat believers in him. Now you see him for the full season. It's like, I don't know about Michael Gallup anymore. So that was a missed opportunity. But then again, there was a receiver here once upon a time, I would say 2 years ago, that would fit very well next to CeeDee Lamb right now. You got Ron in Northeast Ohio.
Let's go, AB.
Yeah, come back. I'm just saying, man.
We're revisiting memory lane. Nothing like, saying a little hello to your boy Mari.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with, you have him, and then you trade him for peanuts and a bag of saltine crackers. But that's okay. That's okay. Leave the memories alone, right? And there's my final thought for tonight.
Yeah, my final thought is, God, I've asked for a lot of things. I've suffered a lot of ways. I just ask that if you let my Gators somehow go into Baton Rouge, come out with a win. Please, God, I need this. If it means anything, please, Lord, please, God. I Done what I could.
You know what you gotta do. You know what you have to do if they win this game.
Please, God.
Cobblestone path, baby.
Dude, I'm not crawling the cobblestone. I'm not taking the trip to Mexico to do that.
Yes, you are.
No, because I don't know if I'll be able to get back.
It saved Mr. Needle's life and George Lopez. It'll save the Gators season if you do it.
If I got to, you going with me.
Oh, for sure. Because I have demons to exercise when it comes to LSU.
Hell, I'll come down and film the whole thing. I'll make sure we got video evidence for it. Inspire the team next year.
There we go.
Yeah, you're gonna see us laying on the cobblestones at that point because we ain't gonna make it.
It's worth it.
We ain't gonna make it. I don't know why them damn cobblestones are going to bust up, bruise up, bloody up our knees to the point where we just gonna be sliding up the cobblestones.
But you know what? Those will heal in time. Those will heal in time.
How much time?
In due time, God gives his strongest battles to the toughest soldiers and rewards them tenfold.
What again? That salvation that's going to come after you guys make the trail is going to completely erase all the pain from your knees, looking like D Rose's knees mid-surgery.
There we go.
Yeah, because we will be having surgery, having to crawl up them cobblestones.
It is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's called sacrifice, AB. You can't have greatness without it.
No sacrifice, no victory.
Y'all saw
Damn right, Marcus.
Y'all saw George Lopez after he crawled up them cobblestones. I don't even know how he drove home.
Hey man, sacrifice. Do what you gotta do. You take one for the team. You gotta take something to give.
Man jumped in. Mr. Needles jumped in the man's lap, licked his face, and then farted multiple times. And he couldn't move.
Hey, man's best friend, you know? It is what it is.
I'm guaranteed right after that final, you get off that last cobblestone, boom. Shefty's going to break out a report. Jim Harbaugh, new offensive coordinator down in Georgia. I mean, not Georgia, Florida.
Yeah, that would not go over well with the fan base.
Hey man, if he's gotten better at stealing signs with technology down here and with our resources, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, he could definitely pick apart Kirby Smart's signs. Come on, if he did it for Brian Day, come on.
He went against Kirby Smart once already. How did it go?
I mean, that defense.
But did he have DJ Lagway with him?
That is very true.
And he will have athletic receivers, and hopefully, if he recruits a good offensive line. And maybe he doesn't have to, block Trayvon Walker on a damn pull,
He will have Jeray Hawkins along with Eugene Wilson. Oh, my God.
See, walk with me.
I just imagined that combo next year. Yeah, good luck catching those guys. That's all I'm going to say.
See, AB, the vision is there. That you can go to bed tonight and sleep on it and be a happy man.
It says Marcus agreed to crawl up the cobblestones, and I don't have to now. Appreciate that, Marcus.
Hey man, that's what brothers is for, and I would do it for a Jag Super Bowl as well. I would do anything under the sun.
Jags ain't involved in this. It's just strictly.
I have my own separate, solid pack.
Marcus would never crawl up the cobblestones, right?
Oh, I will. I will do a lot of crazy things. I've crawled on cobblestones before, baby. My knees are strong.
He's gonna cheat it up and walk.
Bro, I got maintenance stallion knees. I'm good.
Listen, just to be fair, I'll take the cobblestone path with Marcus because I need demons to exercise getting Caleb Williams to Rutgers. Give him a real defense he can win with. Get back to the Big Ten next year. Become first overall pick 2025. Avoid going to Chicago.
The Colt clan, baby. We are here.
Let's go, baby.
Yo,
the Knicks, man.
Them too.
Why you gotta ruin my sadness right now mentioning the Knicks, man?
I'm just saying you got a better chance of praying that the Knicks get to the Eastern Conference Finals than getting Caleb Williams at Rutgers.
Listen, dream.
We're leaving Los Angeles, California.
Understood. But I will say, speaking of the Knicks, though, I have to take a minute to thank RJ Barrett for being back, one knee and all, and still being able to deliver at Madison Square Garden last night.
Yeah, but you want Caleb Williams to leave. Have you ever been to Los Angeles, California?
I know I haven't been. No, I haven't been to LA. I understand it's a culture shock, but I will say this: he gets to at least stay in the Big Ten, and he's going to be able to have a pretty good running back. I gotta say, Kyle Monangai, guys, watch out because he's really going to be, in my opinion, one of the more underrated running backs in this year's draft class.
Caleb Williams, if you're watching this, do not leave Los Angeles, California. Do not leave the beach. Do not leave the city of LA. Do not leave Hollywood. You do not need to do that.
Counterpoint. Let Mike cope. Let Mike cook.
You are good.
Caleb
is great.
I know you're watching and understand. Yeah, they have big lights. They have the West Coast and the beaches. But you know what Rutgers have? We have fat sandwiches. We got New Brunswick, baby. We've got the greatest city on earth, Trenton. Come on down. Have some fun. It's no fight on anymore. It's rah Rutgers.
Mike, LA has the women also.
Hey, counterpoint. I once dated a woman from New Jersey.
Nice.
And there's a reason why you're not with her anymore.
Well, that was a whole separate thing. But it was fun at the time.
Hey. My mom's a Jersey girl. Be easy on her.
Not too much.
LA has the women though.
That I cannot debate against that. That is true.
Exactly. The debate.
But you know what Rutgers does have?
New York City.
Beautiful, fat, balding man who's a defensive genius by the name of Greg Schiano, who will lead Caleb Williams to more victories than with Lincoln Riley.
I will say Greg Schiano being back at Rutgers does feel right.
It just fits.
The vibes work out.
I mean, there's just a great fit at this point. Mm-hmm. And the thing, Tennessee started freaking petitions and riots to keep him from going there, and they ended up with Butch Jones.
See, and we wanted to help you guys out, so we wanted to get Tennessee to hire Butch Jones so Rutgers could take him, and you guys could beat Tennessee with what's called not Hendon Hooker, Joe Milton. So you're welcome.
5-star hearts.
Brick by brick.
Christ. McDonald's bags galore.
You would have took a McDonald's bag.
I'm loving it. That was something McDonald's jingle and all. What you mean?
Oh, I got a double quarter pound of cheese and fries. Oh, what's this stack on these napkins? Ooh. Those are napkins. Those are green pieces of paper. Hold on.
I got double $250,000 with cheese also on the other day.
This got 40K nugget with some nuggets and some mamba sauce. We're vibing right now.
Yeah, the get the Szechuan sauce limited time offer, and we cook it with fish grease.
You got the Cardi B meal with $50,000 in there.
Yeah, right.
Cardi B and all.
You got enough money there to fix the McFlurry machine.
Them machines ain't never gonna be fixed.
No.
Every time you go there, I want to McFlurry. Yeah, the machine's down right now.
Translation: we don't feel like cleaning that damn thing. Tough shit.
Meanwhile, in the break room, you see like 15 different McFlurries out there just wasting away.
Right?
Oh, really? So you lot? That would be like Chick-fil-A running out of barbecue sauce. Yeah, let me get the 12-count nugget with some barbecue sauce. We out of barbecue sauce.
Looks like a chicken joint right now. Chicken.
If I ever went to Chick-fil-A to happen, I swear, y'all know how pissed I mean. I can literally get out of my car, leave the car parked there. I'll go right inside. I'm going right behind. Like, look, I know y'all got some barbecue sauce back here somewhere. Better give me my barbecue sauce.
The dangerous things I would do if the day Chick-fil-A ever runs out of that mac and cheese, just you're gonna have to see my face all over the news, man. I'm just saying that.
Local man fired shots in the local Chick-fil-A because they ran out of mac and cheese.
They show us pictures. Wait a minute. We had that guy on the podcast.
I did it for the Mac, baby. I'll do it again.
There we go.
Hey, man, that mac and cheese is that good. Mike, we definitely appreciate you coming on, chopping up. We definitely going to get you back on again soon. We have to, especially with the NBA season going as well.
Absolutely. Again, thank you guys so much for having me. I had a blast. I can't wait to be back again. Thank you so much, man.
For sure, man. We had to get you on here, man. This has been a hell of a time, man. Appreciate you supporting Russell Pierce over on my side. Appreciate you supporting us over here. Man, it's been a real good blast having you on here, bro.
Yeah, let everybody know where they can follow you and everything.
So you guys can follow me on Twitter. I will be posting all of my latest articles for Last Word on Sports for the Jets, usually twice a week. That's M Zimmel, so MZIMMEL. You find me on Instagram at MZim96. I post a couple Instagram stories about draft strategies for the Jets too, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm also going to be getting my stand-up schedule back in 2024, so be on the lookout around December for January dates coming up. And yeah, hope you guys have a good night.
Definitely appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, we will be watching that Jets Raiders game Sunday night. So
hell yeah, baby.
We'll
hopefully Garrett Wilson goes off. I just need that. Like, just give him Zach Wilson a sec. Just give Zach Wilson 3 seconds to get the ball into Garrett Wilson's hands. Let the Lord do the rest.
There you go.
There we go.
Look, we appreciate it, man.
All right. Take care, guys.
All righty.
And Jerry had to log off early. You can follow him at JBreezyII burner account at I am Breezy II on Instagram.
You're blowing up the whole spot.
Yeah. And Instagram, what is his Instagram handle? I keep forgetting that one.
Same thing.
Score.
Yeah, I'm on the score, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Marcus, and let everybody know where they can follow you as well.
Marcus Davis 904 on Twitter, and my burner account is do with the information as you will.
We got babies listening to this. The babies.
I ain't say nothing.
We read the babies read your lips, man.
All I said was my burner account. Oh, calm down. They'll be old enough to understand what this means one day. Don't make that face. What, your parents ain't never cussed at you when you was a baby?
I grew up around cussing. Let's just say I've been cussing since I was 2.
Fuck should have been my first word.
I'd have slapped you if you was my child and you used that was your first word. What you said?
We'll stop saying fuck all the time every 10 seconds, and as a placeholder.
You can follow me on Twitter at AceWade1, on Instagram at Ace_Wade1, ladies.
No.
Yes, follow me because y'all, the ladies love me. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do. They love me. And you can follow the podcast account on Twitter at Indie Evidence, on Instagram at Indisputable Evidence, and on TikTok at Indisputable Evidence as well. And with that, this has been another great episode of Indisputable Evidence. We're going to leave you as we always do. God bless y'all. Stay safe. Y'all take care of your loved ones. Tell them you love them every day. Take care of your mentals. Take care of your chicken. Y'all wash your face. Wash your hands. Marcus.
With soap, with water, fresh water, that is, hot water, even more. With a loofah, with a washcloth, whatever it is that you may prefer, I implore you to thoroughly, and I mean thoroughly, wash your ass. And wear socks and shoes, closed-toe shoes preferably, in movie theaters, in any and all public settings. Thank you very much. Y'all have a blessed evening.
You filthy animals.
You're damn right.
Yeah. Y'all remember, we do this usually every Tuesday, but it had to be a Thursday this time because we had some things come up. Usually every Tuesday, y'all see us here. We got more content coming for y'all. Got some NBA content coming for y'all. Once Marcus learns how to use the TikTok account, I don't know if he does. You got the password and everything, but you don't post it.
Man, I'm gonna show him the dance. Left, do it right, do it. Hey, y'all gonna see it every time. RJ Barrett hit a game winner or something. Every time Rudy Gobert get about 25 rebounds. Yeah, more on the way. We got it.
We got to film some stuff. But we got to film some stuff for the content so we can post more on now. But we got that coming for y'all. But with that, just want to say we thank y'all for tuning in. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Pizza.